Well, we're taking it easy and we're feeling fine. Doing a little stitching here on Island Time. If you get in a hurry, well, it's not a crime. But won't you come and join us on Island Time?
While we can't swing that camera to show you, the pile of whips sitting over here to my left is taller than my head.
It's a whippalanche.
It is
waiting to happen. Nobody yodel.
Please don't, nobody yodel. I don't want any yodeling anyway.
Hi FlossTube, welcome back. If you are new to the channel, thanks for joining us today. My name is Mallory Bosse. This is my mom, Lori Millsap, and together we are stitching on Island Time. You might notice, but new hair, who does?
Isn't it great? I wasn't brave enough. I took off to like 2 inches. I was like, it's
but
getting
your hair looks so healthy now.
Yeah, it was kind of fried.
In Mississippi for December, visiting family for Christmas, my cousin is a hairdresser, and I said, take it all. Take it all. So I cut off 14 inches. And I feel 14 inches lighter. It's fantastic.
Great.
It's a great way to start a new year. I did the same thing on my wedding day, which is kind of a funny story. My hair was down to my butt then, and I went to change into my going away dress and also got a big chop that I surprised my husband with. It was perfect because then we went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and really, you don't need a whole lot of hair for that. So,
you know, it's sort of now a tradition with both my girls. I cut Mallory's hair after her wedding, and I cut Maggie's dress after her wedding.
Yes.
Kneeling outside in front of that, the Immigration Museum in Halifax, I crawled around, and, you know, these girls take for granted that because I'm a quilter, I can cut a straight line. And so the good news is apparently I can.
She can.
Yeah.
Lots of practice.
Yeah, that was great.
But I thoroughly enjoyed my anniversary this year. That just passed, and my husband and I celebrated our 16th wedding anniversary on January 16th. So this was our golden anniversary.
Yeah.
16 on 16.
Isn't that great?
And we had so much fun. But we'll tell you guys all about that. First, we're going to do a little bit of a catch up with you guys, and then we'll move into our stitching. We've been busy because now, here we are at the end of January. Today's actually my oldest's birthday. But, you know, we saw you guys at the beginning of December, so...
Yes, we last filmed on November 30th, 2025, in the previous year.
Oh my gosh,
It's been a year since we've seen you.
Well, we haven't seen you since last year.
That's right.
There you go.
So, we can catch you up, but I've seen several other floss tubers who've said, so all the holidays happened. I can't tell you about all that. And I agree. There were lots of holidays, but I made 2 trips to Mississippi and back in December. Dennis and I went together early December just to spend a few days with both sets of parents. We were actually there over the weekend of the Jingle Ball. So Mallory and I saw each other at the Jingle Ball, which was just kind of
hilarious.
Yeah, we'd meet in a room, you know, and catch up with each other. It was actually the most I've ever talked to her when we were usually away from home. Like, we don't do that, you know. Yeah, so that was fun.
I told Mike, I said, I'm spending $50 on the Jingle Ball ticket, but mostly so I can FaceTime with my mom. And he was like, oh, okay.
Okay, but not really. We also stitched and stitched,
and it was so much fun.
Yeah, the Jingle Ball. In case you're not familiar with that, Lindy Stitches, Steph and Jason's business, they plan 5 virtual stitching retreats a year. But the Jingle Ball was the forebearer of all of those. And so anyway, it's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. I've been to all of them. They are so much fun. You have opportunity to shop and to meet the designers. 12 different designers from the cross stitch industry all participate, and it's just phenomenal.
It really is.
You know, whatever you choose to do, you can just watch the entertainment that's available to you, listen to the music while you stitch, or you can go into a stitching lounge, which is what I tend to do. And I kind of park it. Like, other people move around, but I find a room and I just sit there and I stitch and I talk to whoever comes in and out.
It's perfect. You can also do speed dating, which is where you just get 5 minutes connected with some other stitcher. and it's just right to get the, hey, how are you? What's your name? What you working on? Okay, bye.
That's right. It's very low pressure, and I've never met anybody. I did that last year, I think. I didn't really do it this year. I haven't speed dated in a year or two, I guess. But
I enjoyed it because it was just me home by myself when Mom wasn't available. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go speed dating, and I met some cool people. There's a whole lot of really cool people in the world that also like to stitch. It's awesome.
It is awesome. Yeah, I've yet to meet anyone who is also a stitcher that I didn't have things in common with. So, you know, it's great. So while at the Jingle Ball, I did take 3 classes. I took the Ginger Stacy Nash class, as well as Kathy Haberman's Stand Up for Santa and Beth Twist's Countdown to Christmas.
I love Beth Twist. I got to meet her at this Jingle Ball, and she is so precious.
Yes, I like her very much as well. You'll see that when you see some of my whips. So anyway, Jingle Ball was great, and then during the course of December, one of my very favorite FlossTubers is Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff. She's Jessie Does Stuff on Instagram. And she had like a revelation on a new game to play with her cross stitch for 2026. And she was sweet enough to like lay it all out. So she named her game Milestone Manor because you play the game in such a way that you track the milestones that you hit on your cross stitch projects. And that just spoke to my statistics loving soul, because that is kind of how I play the game with my digital patterns anyway, is that I'll open it to work on a project and I'll go, oh, I'm at 23%. Well, I'll just stitch until I'm at 25%, you know, and so that's always the way I've kind of approached it. So I watched her video, which I will link in the description box, so that you can learn how to play Milestone Manor. But I played my first round then. I got ready in December, figured out what my rules were going to be, because Jessie stitches full coverage and I have 0 full coverage, and I am too old to start a full coverage. So
that is not true.
Well, it's not in my wheelhouse. That is not something I'm interested in doing. But I'm a sampler stitcher, and she said in her video, if you're a sampler stitcher, you can make the milestones whatever you usually track. Like I finished the border, or I finished one side of the border, or I finished the house, or I finished the, you know, say less. That's exactly what I kind of pay attention to. Oh, look, I finished a motif. So I have 20 projects that I track in Markup RXP. And so those are the ones that I put into my game of Milestone Manor. And so I'm going to give you a quick recap of that, and then you'll see the projects when I show it. But I played Milestone Manor then from January 1st through the 10th, because that's kind of how Jessie's going to do it, is the first 10 days of the month. She's going to play the game. And that way you still have the rest of the month to hit your whip code, to do all the other things. So I set it up. The reason it's called Milestone Manor is you have like a house floor plan that you assign a project to each room of the house. And then you move through the rooms of the house through normal passageways, doorways, and halls. And you enter a room and find out what's there. Well, I assigned my projects to rooms. I didn't surprise myself with what was in there because I had certain ones that I really wanted to work on this year. So I put my starting point for the year is His Eyes on the Sparrow, because you guys know I'm really close to finishing Sparrow, so I worked on it a lot. So when I looked at the statistics for Sparrow today, I'm at 73% finished on Sparrow. In 2025, I stitched over 11,000 stitches on Sparrow.
On just Sparrow?
But in January, playing the game, I put another 3275 in just 4 days. So
it's a good motivator
for
you.
It's a big motivator. And it was super fun because you don't just randomly decide how many stitches you're going to stitch, you roll D&D dice.
Oh.
And it decides for you how many stitches you're going to stitch. And so then you stitch on that one project until you meet that goal.
I think my favorite part of Mom explaining this game to me was her pause to say, do you guys have any extra dice that I could use?
Right.
And I didn't laugh in your face.
I know, but I also didn't want you guys to sort of freak out when I ordered my own, because you would have been like, are you serious right now?
We have 15,000 dice. We happen to enjoy dice. They are math, click, clack, rocks, and they make us happy. So
That's right.
our little goblin brains have been hoarding them over the years for all of the various campaigns that we're playing.
Right.
But Mom got her very own, very eclectic mixture.
Well, right, because you roll a D12 and a D20 and a 10, 100. It's the one that counts by tens. So whichever people call it.
D100.
So you roll that, and then you add the 12 and 20 number and multiply by the D100 number.
Oh.
So you could potentially have to stitch as many as 3,200 stitches.
Wow.
But you also could stitch as few as 20.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Just depending on how well or poorly you roll.
I guess.
So, and actually Jessie thought about that and called those like critical fails and critical hits.
Nice.
And so anyway, the whole game is super fun. If you're a gamer, if you enjoy gaming, it's a great way to approach your projects. So I worked on 8 projects in those first 10 days. I'm not going to go one by one because I'm going to show them to you in my whips. But I just made so much progress, and it was super fun. And I could honestly shoot an entirely separate video just on the way my milestone manor went for 10 days, because it was a blast. So if you don't already have a plan for 2026, or you're curious about how it went, just comment, because I would be totally willing, like, Mallory would shoot another video for me, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I could walk through what I did. I had to set up a whole notebook. It was great. And I'm like writing stuff down. It was like my own little D&D campaign. It was lovely. And I actually defeated 3 projects in those 10 days. So, but defeating a project
Isn't the same as finishing.
It's not finishing it. It's accomplishing enough milestones that you've,
depleted its hit points.
Exactly.
Until the next adventure.
Right.
The next delve into the
So
dungeon.
then the challenge was, I don't want to have defeated these things. Like, these are projects I want to keep working on, but since I made up their hit points, I defeated them quickly. So now I have to figure out, when I come back into the game in February, am I going to just boost their hit points? Like, am I just going to revive them? Maybe roll for hit points for them so that, so that they have more hit points. Yeah. Because one of the projects I defeated was Sparrow. And clearly I'm going to keep working on Sparrow for the rest of the year.
Absolutely.
Like, that's not going to happen. So anyway, I will be happy to tell you anything and everything you'd ever want to know about Milestone Manor, but that was super fun. And then I just got back this weekend. While Mallory was gone on her retreat, I went on a quilting retreat. And that was so great. I was so glad to get to go. I didn't go last January to our group's retreat, and it really impacts my momentum for the year in quilt making, in my personal quilt making. I'm a professional quilter, and I'm quilting all the time. I finished a quilt yesterday. I have a quilt in the frame right now. Those are both for clients. So, but for my own throughput of sitting down and actually making blocks, and that I have to have some time set aside where I can think and spread out. And so it was great. It was great.
It takes a little extra time. The planning stage, you don't always plan for when you're allotting your time for creativity.
Exactly. Right, because it appears non-productive.
Right.
And it's essential to productivity.
Absolutely.
If you are a person who feels stagnant in your stitching or in your quilting or whatever hobbies you have, you almost necessarily need to put all of it down and go wander around Barnes & Noble. Or go to your local library, or go to a museum, or go to the beach. I mean, like, there are so many places that might inspire you to feel creative again.
Refresh your spirit.
Yes.
Because I know that when you slog through project after project, you wear yourself down, not physically maybe, or even mentally, but your spirit gets tired. And that's when we end up hobby jumping. And we're like, you know what? This isn't even sparking joy for me anymore. I got to move to something else.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And, you know, unfortunately, I think a lot of us crafters, when we begin to feel, I don't know, tired of what we've got, we placate that tired spirit with shopping. And so we buy more craft supplies. And, you know, we do need more craft supplies. I mean, I'm going to show you some haul later. Don't worry about that. I have bought some things. But I shop way faster than I can either sew or stitch.
It's true.
And when I shop my stash and look at the things I own, I'm like, oh yeah, I really wanted to work on this. And my time has been so full, and I've bought 85 more things since I bought that, and I sort of forgot I had it. I think we all do that.
Well, we're coming up into the season of spring cleaning, and I get taken over by this crazy manic energy in the springtime where I pull everything out and I'm really harsh and I decide what I'm keeping and what I'm throwing away, and I reorganize. And I can feel that the demonic presence of whatever that spirit is sneaking up on me as the days are getting longer and, you know, it's getting a little warmer. Although we're due to have a snowstorm shortly, so we'll see how that goes. I
know, isn't that crazy? We said today is Gingersnap's birthday, but we're filming on January 23rd, 2026, and you know, we haven't been here since November 30th. So if you've hung on for this long an intro, then it's probably time for us to get to a little talking about the stuff.
It's true. How about we start with our quilt of the day?
That sounds like fun. Okay, so when I went to my quilt retreat in October, I stopped on the way down. Unfortunately, one of our local quilt shops in the Jacksonville area had decided, Jacksonville, North Carolina, had decided to close. And so they had sent out notifications that they were going to be paring down their stock. And so I stopped in October when everything was 25% off. I think it went 25, then 30, then 40, and they closed at the end of the year. So unfortunately, I can't even send you there to buy more cheap stuff. But I fell in love with this line of fabric.
It's beautiful.
I just thought it was so pretty. And of course, right now, since I didn't write down anything about the quilt of the day, I don't actually remember what it's called. And that's terrible.
Sure. But
so Mallory will put it on the screen, and I will put the information, because I tagged it all over my social media. I probably open my Instagram and tell you right now.
Right.
But anyway, I made this one up. This was not a pattern. This was just a stack of fabric that spoke to me. And I went, what could I make? And so I designed this pinwheel chain block and this 16 patch 8-pointed star. These are not complicated blocks. These are, you know, geometry. So that's right. I just chose them because they're simple, big pieces. I wanted the fabric to shine. I had a jelly roll. They don't call them jelly rolls. This company is Marcus Fabrics, and so Moda is proprietary jelly rolls. So this is just 2.5-inch strips. But 2.5-inch strips that I chopped up to make the 16 patches in the center here. And then I had bought the yardage of the yellow, which I just loved. And the borders was actually a wide backing fabric that I bought both sets of wide backing fabric that went with this line. So
because you were going to decide
how
you're going to
and I actually have enough to make an entirely another quilt. I mean, I did that on purpose.
I mean, you had enough to make each of us a project bag out of this as well.
Oh yeah, from the scraps. I did do that from the leftovers. So anyway, I just love it.
I'll put a good picture of the quilt in the video too, because you can only see just a segment of it behind us, and it's so beautiful.
It's a big one. It's for my bed, you know, so I actually took it away from Dennis yesterday to hang it up, and so then when we didn't film yesterday afternoon, I decided, well, in this case, I better give him another quilt, because he likes having a couple of quilts on our bed.
We have one or two, though.
We do. I have spares.
We can accommodate him with another quilt pretty easily.
That's right. And then I quilted this one with one of my very favorite pantos. It's called Coastline. And I don't know. I just like it. It has a nice even coverage.
Swirly.
A little paisley-esque kind of, you know, so it's a little traditional. Anyway, I mostly make traditional quilts with a modern flair. I did get to finish at my quilt retreat this weekend the newest mystery quilt from Quiltville, the Bonnie Hunter Lupine and Laughter quilt that came out this season.
And we'll put another picture.
You want a picture in there? Okay, well, there's some on my Instagram, but I'll probably hang it up next month or next time we film after I get it quilted, because, you know,
right now it's a top.
It's a
Beautiful
top.
pieced top.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, that's my quilt of the day. It's in my hometown colors. I graduated from Tupelo, Mississippi High School, and we were blue and gold. And so I called this one Hometown Harmony because it sort of, you know, sang to me, and I really loved it. So
That's so cool.
I know, right?
I love
it. And it's a nice big quilt, and it was fun to make.
I love that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have both been very busy over this past 2-month stretch.
Right.
And like I'm still remembering, oh yeah, we've done that since the last time we filmed.
I know.
And, oh yeah, you know.
I know, it's crazy how much we've accomplished.
Yes. But like the project bag that you gave me from this line of fabric has an almost complete project in it because I packed it into the bag and took it with me when I went to my retreat last weekend.
Okay.
And chose to use Heartstring Samplery's Hope Song by Beth Twist as my January Blessing sampler. I had gotten a small start on it and I'd done the chickadee that's in the center, and then started working around the border and lost interest because it's a bazillion flowers. I'm not a border girly. That's not something I enjoy or love, but I decided to make it my blessing sampler because if I can force myself to finish it, then it'll be finished.
There you go. It's always good. I've seen more and more people this year not do a traditional blessing sampler, which the idea is, you know, you start it on the 1st of January, and as long as you finish it by the end of the month, then your stitching will be blessed for the year. Both Mallory and I kind of approached it with, maybe let's find a whip that we'd feel really good if we finished it this month. And then I really didn't even do that because I was so busy working on such a variety. I kind of went, we'll see. If I finish something this month, then that'll be my blessing sampler. You know,
I'm really close to a finish. I think I've got like 3 flowers left to finish Hope Song. I'm going to show it to you as one of our things that we've done, but we have some like fully finished things we could show too.
That's right. We have lots of finishes. So not only did we finish some things at the end of the year that added into our totals for 2025, but then we had some, you know, and some of those were ornaments. So we're going to show you some Christmas finishes. But then we've just been real busy. So go ahead and show yours. We can start with the Christmas ornament things.
Well, this is Christmas Hippo from the Blue Flower, stitched 1/28 on even weave. This was a scrap of Prim from my Quilted Witch that I used, and I didn't realize it initially, but when I pulled the pattern and was starting to kit it, I thought that it used fancy flosses, and it turns out they used DMCs, but the name for all the DMC colors. Did you know that DMC colors don't just have numbers?
I did know that, yes. But
I saw the color names and went, oh, those must be fancy because...
Right. Because whoever thinks of them as light brown amber or something, you know, right? Yeah, they have all those kind of names.
But I love it. It is tiny. And I worked on it during the Jingle Ball and discovered that I am not great at tiny, tiny, tiny stitches. I got it done, so like it's accomplishable, but also not my favorite.
But do you know who is great at tiny, tiny, tiny stitches? Mallory's husband, Mike.
Can I show that one right now?
Do you have it?
I do. He left it out for me.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, so we have now our guest FlossTube finish from Mike. He and Mallory went on the stitching retreat together this weekend, and he is indeed a stitcher also. He has a few things that he's been working on off and on, but it's a card game that he loves. And we have Stitch East coming up at the end of March. And so he decided he wants to participate in the smalls exchange. So he made this design extra small so that he can give it away in a smalls exchange. Now look at this thing. Okay, first of all, we'll take some up-close pictures so
Absolutely.
you will have seen this closer.
So this is over 1 on 28 count. And when I tell you that he was already a novelty at the Stitch Retreat because he was the only male stitcher, women would walk up and go, oh, how cute, a man is stitching. Look at his stitching and go, oh my God, he's actually stitching.
Right? I mean, there's nothing wrong. I want you to hear me. There is nothing wrong with 14 count stitching.
Absolutely.
That's
still my favorite.
That's Mallory's favorite. And I've done a lot of it. There's nothing wrong with 7 count stitching if that's what you need to do to be able to see.
I did some of that this week, honestly.
I think that's super fun too. Over 1 on 28 count is amazing to me,
Yes.
especially with DMC, because I feel like it just is a tight, like silk would at least nestle down in there.
Right.
And DMC, you have to really have some talent. Now,
Great tension. and-
Yes,
Yep.
yes. So I do watch Narissa's Stitching Lifestyle, and she stitches with DMC on 56 count all the time, over 2, of
Right,
course,
yep, yep.
which is about the same size then,
Sure.
you know. So, and she uses DMC, and that always amazes me.
That's awesome.
But over 1 on 28 with DMC, I mean, it is just, first of all, look at these colors. He picked his colors.
He picked every color. He took it from the original pixel art of the game. It is a digital card game, which is great because they have like tarot cards and other random things that wouldn't necessarily be the same size in a real card game. But there are also hundreds of jokers in this game, each one doing a different job when you play it. So Flower Pot was the first thing he thought of when he heard that the Smalls Exchange theme was flowers. And he got this idea that he wanted to stitch the card. So he took the original pixel art, hand charted it into a cross-stitch program called Floss Cross. You might have heard me mention that before. And then hand selected every DMC color to appropriately match the original artwork.
Yeah, so I don't know. Can you see the shading on the little flower pot? Can you see all? Anyway, it's phenomenal. We're very proud of him. He does beautiful work. He loves to do the tiny stitching. Look at that.
And these are both on 28 count.
Yeah.
And I'm just staggered.
Yes, it's wonderful.
My flabbers are gasted.
There you go. Okay.
He's amazing.
And other fully finishes. I finished this during the Jingle Ball as well. This is called Color Outside the Lines. It's from Needlework Press. And I've had it going for a while. In fact, thank you.
You're welcome.
In 2025, when I brought my whips forward to 2 whip go boards, this was one of the small ones that I said, when and if its whip go number is ever called, I will stitch on it until I finish it. I did not, but then at the end of the year, I did go, you know what, that's close. I can get that finished. So I love it. I did my own colors for this one. I pulled similar colors to the chart from my Color and Cotton stash. So Color Outside the Lines, and now I can finish it and I can redeem the rest of this piece.
Because there's a lot of fabric there.
I do this sometimes. You know, I'll just chunk a fat quarter in there and think, oh, okay, well, I'll
When I finish that, I'll cut it.
Right.
Sure.
So anyway, Color Outside the Lines, and I just love it. I love how it's, you know, the O goes outside, and anyway, it's super fun.
It is super fun. The other thing that was super fun this Christmas was all of the Satsuma Street that I got to stitch. I got 2 ornament kits as part of my Christmas gift, and I finished both of them. This one's fully finished. This is The Little Drummer Girl by Satsuma Street.
Isn't it sweet?
Some slight alterations to her because for whatever reason, when I tried putting the blue sequins on her eyes, she was heckin' creepy. So I made the artistic choice that she was not going to have those. And my oldest, whose birthday it is today, told me to change her mouth from the little smile into a W shape. So it would look like a little cat mouth.
Nice. So she's got pursed lips. She's adorable.
Just did one of these. Yes, and she was a delight to stitch, start and finish in one day, because it's small and quick and into this nice perforated paper. Couldn't think what it was called. The perforated paper makes my stitching fly.
Yeah.
I stitch
everybody
so
that
fast.
I've done no perforated paper yet, but everything I've heard from other floss tubers say the same thing, that they're super fast to make.
And finishing it with a little bit of ribbon and felt on the back is all you have to do to make it 100% done.
Yeah. So I think we'll probably look for some more like Mill Hill kits that are similar kind of things for this year. So I was going to show you my next finish, but while we're on Christmas ornaments, I pulled the Christmas ornaments. Our tree was an eclectic blend this year. I was out of town when the tree went up, and so the grand girls put up the tree and began the decor, and so they chose from our stash of family ornaments and other things what they wanted to put out this year. And I thought it was great that 2 of the ornaments that my mother has made through the years were on the tree. So when I was first married, Mom made dozens literally, of ornaments for my tree out of this plaid fabric that she made bells and hearts and all sorts of just stuff, just the plaid fabric.
I didn't realize Gran made all of those.
Oh yes, all of that's handmade by Gran. Early, I mean, I don't think you guys were
in the 80s sometime.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think you were here yet.
Yeah.
So anyway, and
they've always existed in my lifetime. So.
And this is one of the cross-stitched ornaments that she made. And then a few years later, we had a little puppy named Petey, and when my mom saw this ornament, and I don't know what the chart is called, but when she saw it, she was like, oh, that looks like Petey. And so she stitched that for us, and we got a lot of picture ornaments that she finished like this. This is one of those little plastic hoops that you can buy, and she just put felt on the back and, you know, has
cording
the little cording
outside,
around the outside, you know, so.
And just some hot glue.
And yeah, and a little holly thing. Holly is her favorite way to decorate. She does not care for poinsettias. She's a holly girl. So anyway, I love this little ornament. It has beads along the holly on the fireplace on there.
The mantle.
Yeah, on the mantle.
That's so cute.
And I think it might just be a section, like maybe from a stocking chart or something.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was from a magazine. You know, you just don't know. My mom has so many stitched ornaments at her house on all her variety of trees, including the family tree. She has themes of ornaments that she stitched through the years because probably when she was a little younger than I am now, she had all the decor she wanted for cross stitch in her house, and she just switched over to stitching Christmas.
100% Christmas.
100% Christmas, yeah. Right. So she still made a few smocked dresses and that kind of thing, because smocking is very similar to cross stitch, you know, if you are also a seamstress like she is. But anyway, I wanted to show those. And then my next finish at the Jingle Ball was Millie. And really because Millie only needed to be fully filled in. I had her completely outlined and ready to go, and it made a really nice thing to work on during the Jingle Ball because I was able to just, you know.
No counting, just stitch.
And she's also a color and cotton conversion that I chose, but very similar colors to what the chart calls for. I just loved, I think this is driftwood that I used for the elephant color, and I loved the variegation in driftwood. I liked the way she was stripy.
She's beautiful.
So I have both her and Bobbin completely finished. I'm still working on Maggie May, so I may try and get her fully finished. I think I'm going to do the Stacy Nash method, though, of just putting linen on the back.
Oh, sure.
Because that's why I used this piece originally. I don't know if you knew this, but you can buy pieces of linen this size from 123 Stitch for almost nothing. They're like $3.50, $4. They're very inexpensive.
Because it's a strange shape and amount of yardage?
No, but I think it's called a fat 16th maybe, and it's available in the just Zweigart standard colors, you know, like you can get just Silver Moon and Vintage Country Mocha and all the ones that Zweigart makes that are not hand-dyed.
Gotcha.
And so they're fairly inexpensive, And a great way if you want a variety of colors in your stash so that you could decide what color you want to order later.
Right, use it as a color key.
Right.
To know what each fabric looks like in person. That's a great idea.
Right. And so I did that. I think I ordered like 10 for the price of one fat quarter, you know, of my hand-dyed linen. But then I went, oh, or these make great ornament size pieces. So that's
True.
how Millie ended up on this piece.
And she's perfect on there.
Yeah, she really is.
And she was started February last year because she was part of the Super Bowl stand-up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. And you know what? Tara's doing a different thing for the Super Bowl. It's coming up soon. So Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches, has got a 250 kickoff, she's calling it. And so we should work on our patriotic pieces.
Aww.
Isn't that smart?
That is
for the
smart.
250th birthday of America. So, yeah.
Tara's so smart.
Yep. 250 kickoff is her hashtag for that one coming up.
Nice.
All right.
Well, that's excellent. All right, I might have to take a moment to dig because
Okay.
I have
well,
more
you
things
dig
finished.
while I'm looking. While I'm showing this, because look what I finally did, y'all. I finally finished Black Rooster. So that was the other thing that one day I just went, this is crazy. I've got to just finish. I've got to just finish. I mean, I'm so close to the end, and I was really procrastinating it because I enjoyed working on it so much. I was so close to the end. And so I did finally one day. The 25 I put in the center, I just freestyled, like I didn't chart it. And I was pleased that it fit, and it's mostly in the middle, and I'm good with it, I think. So that's, you know, it took me a little while to decide what I wanted to put in the center of that motif. But anyway, I like it, and I haven't decided yet what I'm going to do with it. I may put it on the front of a project bag.
It's beautiful.
It's about the right size
Yeah.
to feature on a project bag, and I had so much fun with it that I'd kind of enjoy using it.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So that's Black Rooster. It was the Stitch Along from Soda D. They've got another one going on for this entire year, but I did not participate in that one. I'm doing a different one of their pieces right now.
I gotcha.
Okay.
All right, I have so much. So
That's okay.
Sorry about all the crinkling noises,
I've got a few more
everybody.
too.
I did a second Satsuma Street. This one is called Winter Break. And guys, can I just tell you, these kits are amazing. They come with everything you need except for scissors, literally. Like there's a needle, there's every kind of floss you need. There's the paper, there's the pattern, like it all inclusive, and it stitches up like a dream. Like it just, I think I took my time on this one. I think I did it over the course of 3 days, but you know, cause I was teaching. So we're back in school now, and that's slowed down my stitching schedule. But it's
Also,
just
I
the
ordered
cutest.
these kits for her for Christmas from Treehouse Fiber Arts. Rachel had the kits for sale, and she does a lot of kitted things that I think are a wonderful
They're fantastic.
place to buy things from. So
I just did a sloppy cut around this guy so that I could then get some of that self-adhesing felt for the backside and use an X-Acto knife to trim it down the rest of the way.
oh sure,
Because I wasn't a huge fan of how I did on this one. Like it doesn't match up properly on the back, like not perfectly. I'm a little OCD perfectionist when it comes to that sort of thing. So I was like, going to try harder on this one.
that's a good idea though. If you can cut them both at the same time,
I mean, hopefully.
yeah,
I've got a nice sharp knife, so hopefully I can.
Sure.
But this one, and then because I went to a cross-stitch store while we were in Maryland at Camp WannaStitch, I'm going to say that this guy jumped off the shelf at me because it was so cute. And I didn't realize Satsuma Street also did Halloween ornaments.
yes,
And so this was one that I bought and then stitched the next day and finished and was able to ring the bell.
nice.
Called Hoppy Halloween, and my gosh, look how cute this little witchy frog is on the broomstick. I named her Betty
nice,
because you can go boop.
nice. I like her very much.
She's so cute. And I kept having moments where I would have to stop stitching just to go, oh, she's so cute. I love her so much. So this was a fun one, and one I totally did not plan to stitch because I found it at Salty Yarn when we were there for Camp WannaStitch.
Tell everybody about Camp WannaStitch right now.
Sure.
Because we kind of blew past that.
Yes. Well, back in October, when we went to the Queen City Stitch Retreat in Charlotte, North Carolina, I met a couple of really cool ladies who then were telling me about an upcoming stitch retreat the next year called Camp WannaStitch, and that it would be happening around Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. And I thought, I got married around Martin Luther King Jr. weekend. Tell me more things. And so they gave me information on Camp WannaStitch, and I reached out to my husband and said, does that sound like a fun way to spend the anniversary for you? And he was like, heck yeah, it does. So I reached out to the folks coordinating the event, and it turns out it was an EGA members event. I am not a member of the EGA. And so I was like, I've already got Mike excited about this. What do I do? So I reached out, emailed the lady coordinating it and said, hey, I know this is weird, but I'm not an EGA member. My husband and I are both stitchers, and we would love to come to Camp WannaStitch and stitch with you guys. Is there any way we can make that happen? And she came back immediately with, that's the sweetest story. Yes, come as my guest.
That's wonderful.
It was so nice, and everyone was so welcoming and kind and generous and loving and all of the things. And it was just a delight to be there.
So where was Camp WannaStitch?
Ocean City, Maryland. And it is at the Ashore Beachside Hotel and Resort. They actually had a large construction project happening in their normal conference center area where they would have had us seated. And so instead of canceling, they just moved us up one level into the room that's been converted from the indoor pool and the back of their restaurant.
Okay.
It was interesting. So we ended up split into two separate rooms. And so occasionally, I mean, it just gives you an excuse to get up and walk around to meet people at other tables, other rooms.
Right.
And so whenever my, robot overlord would tell me, hey, you've been sitting too long.
Right.
I'd hop up and walk around and see what everybody was working on.
It's my downfall and one of those things, because in just the same way I go into a stitching lounge on a virtual retreat and never move, I do exactly the same things at a stitching retreat. And I'm too old to sit still for that long.
Yes.
Like, I really am. Thank goodness we wear these devices that say, hey, it's time to stand up.
Right.
Because
then my hips and knees doth protest too much.
Right. My hip flexors are just complaining about the fact that I've been sitting in a folding chair for, 6 hours.
But what was absolutely delightful about going to this EGA sponsored thing was that there was all forms of stitching represented. It was not cross stitch only. There was embroidery, surface embroidery. There was couching. There was needlepoint. There was cross stitch. There was all of the stitching, and everyone there had also stitched name tags.
Oh, nice. Sure. That would be an EGA thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I felt so inspired. That's going to be my next thing, is I'm going to stitch myself a name tag.
That's
because
great. Yes.
We've already decided we're going back next year. And this time we'll be going back as members.
There you go. That's great.
Several of the group leaders of the different chapters approached us to ask if we would want to join their group, because they fell in love with us. They really loved that we were both there together and stitching together.
It really is great when you share that hobby.
It is.
I mean, it's the same. Like all the years that Dennis and I have traveled to the Experimental Aircraft Association, because I enjoy airplanes as much as he does.
Right.
Like all those things that we shared in common. Those were always more fun than,
And I try to encourage my children to come with us next time. And I said, see, there was a table there that was 3 generations of stitchers. I was like, we could have Gramps, we could have me, we could have you guys, and we'd be 3 generations of stitchers. And they both went, I don't really stitch though, Mom.
No, don't make us do a project just so we fit in. Yeah, I get that. No, it's fine.
There was a considerable number of fiber artists that weren't making stitches onto fabric like you would imagine. There were knitters and crocheters and all sorts there.
Oh, that's great.
So any kind of project that you're working on by hand, you'd be welcome. I mean, they loved walking around and asking you questions and engaging with you about what you're stitching.
Well, and what I've seen, like even as a hardcore cross stitcher, what I have seen a lot of other FlossTubers do, they go to these events and they really cannot stitch in public. Like they need quiet and their lamp and their setup. And so they end up just chatting, or they bring crochet.
Right.
Or they, something they can do in less light.
Like I could have sat and knitted socks the whole time I was there.
Exactly.
And that would have been so easy. But I also was really enjoying stitching on my
that's great.
cross-stitch projects. So that's the nice part about not being a famous FlossTuber. Nobody recognized me. And I only said to a couple of people, well, if you want to follow me on socials, I do have a FlossTube. And that was hysterical because people would go, you have a FlossTube? And it was like a big deal. And I was like, yeah, but it's like a video diary with me and my mom. It's not a big deal.
Right.
It's
not a big deal. Although, y'all, we might hit 1,000 followers this month.
That would be so cool, you guys.
That would be super great. So if you don't already subscribe, please subscribe. If you want to share us on your socials, like Cam Duncan did, Cam the Stitcher,
she's so
promoted
sweet.
us. She's the precious.
She sat at our table at the Charlotte Stitch Retreat back in October. And I have to say, the people at my table at this event were so delightful. Every single one of them. Now, they had sat us at a table for first timers, but 2 of the ladies at the table weren't technically first timers. They were just members at large.
So hostesses.
They don't have a chapter affiliated with them, but they are EGA members and just hadn't attended this event before.
Gotcha.
And oh my gosh, you guys, it was so much fun.
That's great.
My dear friend Victoria, who I met, for the longest time, I was like, oh man, we're connecting on so many levels. She's getting all of my silly little references. She's got to be my age. This is so cool. And then at one point she told me, and she's actually 20 years older than I am.
Right, nearly my age.
But when you're a single woman with no children, you age differently.
That's fair. That is fair. Yes.
And Victoria, you're beautiful and I love you.
There you go. Okay, I have some more finishes. We got to keep going because we've been here a while.
Yep.
So I also finished, speaking of Tara Sullivan, I finally finished Vibrant Flowers. This is the one that I started in 2024 for Tara's birthday in April of 2024. And so I managed to finish it and I think it turned out really nice.
It's so pretty.
Again, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I may put it on a project bag. I don't have a plan, but it's very sweet.
It's very sweet.
Yes.
It would be sweet framed.
It would be sweet framed. Yeah. But anyway, did finish that. So that was great. And then I already told you I finished Lupine and Laughter while I was at my quilt retreat, but also I got a really decent start on the designer mystery quilt for 2025. That's right, 2025. That's okay, because I don't have a decent start on the one from 2024. So at least I'm catching up. So anyway, these turned out so nice, and I thought I would show you. When you are starting a quilt, you start with what fabrics you're gonna make it from, and then like the designer mystery comes as a kit. And so you have a pattern and you cut all your pieces out and sew them together and you collect a stack of blocks. That's what this unit is called. It's called a block. And so these are all 12.5 inch so that when I sew them into the quilt, they'll be 12 inches. And so I just whipped up 5 blocks of the 8 that we have available right now. And I'm going to try and get the other 3 done so that I'm kind of caught up on this project.
This is great.
So, but I do love these colors. They're from Corey Yoder, who's Coriander Quilts for Moda Fabrics. And that orangey, peachy color is just one.
Color.
It's a me color.
Yes.
I love that color so much.
Those are beautiful.
And green. I'm a green girl. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to working on that some more.
Gorgeous.
It was fun to get a good start on that.
That's another Jingle Ball finish for me. This was Marion Bright Mice from Primrose Cottage, I believe.
So cute. Yes, that was their first Friday freebie in December.
And it was so much fun to stitch up. And I've even pulled out extra DMC so I can make cording for the little pillow. And I have my back fabric that I'm going to put on the back here.
Yes,
so it is
great.
a deconstructed pillow at the moment, but
yes, but it will be beautiful.
To be pillowed eventually.
Well, I did fully finish a pillow in December. This was another one of those small things that I had been working on for an unnecessarily long period of time, but that I finally went, you know what, I think I could finish that. And so I did. And I literally just put a striped fabric on the back, and stuffed it into a little pillow. So this is 1831 Christmas from Plum Street. And so it's a cutie, and I just tucked it into the tree limb of our Christmas tree.
Nice.
But I'll probably just leave it out all the time because remember my maiden name is Wooly. It's not.
It's a year-round kind of thing.
Kind of. I mean, the poinsettias are
and
a little
snowflakes,
you know,
but
and the snowflakes.
but
I like it, and it'll stay out all the time for me.
there you go.
So it's perfectly fine.
I finished the stitching for my smalls exchange for the barefoot.
Good for you. I have not. Because I picked a chart that I decided I would color my own way.
Oh.
And then I wasn't thrilled with the colors I'd chosen, but I was away at my quilt retreat and I didn't have any more colors with me. So now I'm going to work on that this week now that I'm actually, you know, home.
Yes.
So.
Yes, but Mom bought me the entire set of the new Love line from Primrose Cottage. That's all of the strawberries.
Not everybody's seen that yet, though.
Am I allowed to show this finished stitching?
I think so, because we only have about 40 people that'll watch us. So sure. No, for real though. I did get her the new secret Primrose, you know, the Valentine box.
Yes.
From Primrose. And yes, she got that. Did you get it yesterday or the day before?
Day before.
Okay, so Wednesday I gave her that, and today it's Friday morning, and she's fully finished.
But I stitched it on Thursday and got it 100% done so that I could start the next one.
Yes, I see that.
Am I allowed to show this one?
Yes, because it's so similar. That part is the Friday free stitch. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
So the hugs, the font and exact pixel choice for the word hugs is exactly the same in the Friday free stitch that just came out. It's very Valentine's themed, so it has 14, XOXO, Sweetie Cutie.
Yeah, I've seen it already finished on Mrs. Jones Stitches.
Yes,
she did a good job.
This is called Toadstool Kisses. And guys, can I tell you how much fun it is to stitch a frog?
Oh, yeah.
I know that we kind of use frog as a bad word in our community because it means that we're having to take stitches out. But how can you be mad at these little guys? Look at them.
I know, they're super cute.
I think I've gotten a bit of a frog problem over the past couple of weeks though, because not only did I stitch them here, I also did some canvas stitching. Let me see if I can find it real fast.
Oh, in her new toadstool bag. So this bag I made for her while I was at my retreat. Oh my goodness.
So this, I combined two of the motifs. I took the frog that was over on one mushroom and put it on the different mushroom. But this I'm going to turn into a little magnet because it's just the cutest. And this one will also be a little magnet.
Oh my goodness. These are so cute.
Everybody needs more frogs.
Oh my goodness.
But I am literally stitching this onto plastic canvas, which is 7 count. I came to find out. It turns out though, even if you use 6 strands of DMC, it doesn't really fill the stitches nicely. And also you can break a tapestry needle trying to thread your end bits through.
Yeah,
so
you definitely want an 18 count needle if you're going to do 6 strands.
Yeah. Well, I had started with, I was actually doing 12 strands because I was doing an entire length folded in half as a loop start.
I got you. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's a lot. Anyway, so I started with DMC down here and realized quickly that, you know what, yarn's going to be the way to go. So these are both done with just some chunky yarns that I had in my stash.
Yeah.
And they were so fun to stitch.
Yeah, I bet it would be worth it to collect some of the Lori Holt chunky thread because of the weight of that yarn.
Yes.
That it would be just that perfect in between weight.
That's a great idea.
So, yeah, that would
keep
be
that in
fun.
mind.
Yeah.
And because she mentioned it, but I didn't really show it, here's my beautiful toadstool bag made by the, made by the beautiful Lori Millsap.
Yes, so while we were at our retreat, whenever I am in the middle of a quilt retreat and like I finish a big project and I'm going to move to a different project, I kind of need a breather. in between,
Sure.
like a
Palette
palette
cleanse.
Yes, like a palette cleanse. And so making project bags has sort of fallen into that category for me. So as we go through, I will show you which ones of the bags I made myself versus which ones I bought, which I still do because there are a lot of people who make beautiful bags out there. And so if you're not somebody that works at a sewing machine very regularly and you don't want to make your own bags, I got some recommendations for you because you can definitely buy cute bags. All right, I'm going to start through my whips and talking a little bit more about the way Milestone Manor worked, because while we can't swing that camera to show you, the pile of whips sitting over here to my left is taller than my head.
It's a whippalanche.
It is
Waiting to happen.
Nobody
yodel.
Please don't, nobody yodel. I don't want any yodeling anyway. Okay, so see right off the bat, there it goes. All right, so this is the Christmas sampler by Crochet a Go-Go. I'm gonna move some of this.
Progress.
I'm at 40%. Let me pull some magnets off the edges so that you can see it better.
And you started this in December.
December 1st. I started this December 1st. I think that probably gives you enough to see it all. And I put it in the scroll bars, which I find I'm really enjoying. This is where I stopped. I've got to come down both sides of the border, and I need to finish out these trees on either side before I can go down to the little flowers that go across the base of the house. But I love how it's going. This is a beautiful, it's extra thread, don't worry about that. This is a beautiful chart. I love these poinsettias and the holly berries, and this house was so much fun to stitch. Anyway, this is Christmas Sampler, and it's one of the projects I defeated. So Christmas Sampler was originally in my living room. That's in my manor, my virtual manor.
Milestone Manor.
Yes, in my virtual manor. And so I did 9,800 stitches on this project in December. And then I did another 2,000 stitches in January to meet and defeat all of the hit points that I had planned. Oh, I've got a needle.
It's attached, don't worry.
Yeah, it's sort of attached. Anyway, but I don't really want it to be defeated. Because I want to keep working on it.
Yeah.
So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do to give it some additional hit points. I mean, if I didn't work on it again until December, I would be content. I'm at 40% on a project that I worked on for about 5 weeks.
Wow.
So it was almost exclusively my December stitch. I did work on 2 or 3 other things in December, but this is where I landed. And it was so much fun to stitch.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Okay.
That's that one.
That's that one.
Ooh, can I show my Christmas?
Yes, you can.
This is a pattern by Satsuma Street that Mom got me as a Christmas present called the Noel Sampler. And you can see from the cover image that it's just gorgeous. But guys, I think my favorite part about working with Satsuma Street is her color palette, because the rainbow of her colors is the prettiest, brightest, most amazing thing.
That is lovely.
So
And I love the way you arrange your floss.
I had a Christmas rainbow that I took with me all the way to Mississippi, and it kept me super entranced with this project. I got a full halfway done, and I do have a string with a needle in there, so don't mind that, but I am at least 50% of the way done. I've got all of my red boxes outlined. They each have an inner border color that needs to come in, and then of course I've got all the missing motifs on the second half. But I've decided this year, so that I don't leave Christmas for 1 month, I'm going to be doing Christmas stitching on the 24th and 25th of every month.
Exactly. And today's the 23rd, in case you've forgotten already. And so we're both doing that. So I have Jeanette Douglas's Christmas Dots. I was so excited that at the Jingle Ball, she had available for you to buy the entire set of Christmas dots
Right.
at a reasonable price because, you know, she's been selling 2 dots at a time. And Christmas dots is just Jeanette Douglas's, these are little tiny, well, here's the first one for me where I started Jingle Bells. So I just got a little start. This is 40 count Sleeping Bear, I think, is what I'm doing it on. And my plan is to do 2 dots a month, 2, maybe 3. And on the 24th and 25th, I'm going to work on those. Now, when I said that, Jeanette herself, the queen of cross stitch, who I adore, said, oh, well, those dots took me about 2 hours. And I said, yes, but not everyone can stitch as fast as you do, my liege. And she thought that was funny. But, I mean, you know, she said, well, I didn't mean that. I just meant you don't have to budget like 2 full days.
It's not a huge amount of time.
And
Okay,
she's right. I mean, they're small. And I did up my own colors that I pulled just based off of, you know, the right mix of reds and greens and golds. So I just pulled a bunch of flosses for this.
Beautiful.
So that is my Christmas dots that I'm going to work on. But also my other Christmas chart that I have is in this fantastic bag.
That bag is amazing.
Isn't it great?
Okay, so who made this?
So Jenny Swan made this one. And she posted it to her Instagram and said, you know, I've got a few of these bags. And I immediately was like, okay, but do you have any more of those Santa hats? And she says, yeah, I've got one. So anyway, bought this bag. It's fantastic. And in it, I put my Gather Round the Manger. So that's the other one that I'm going to work on the 24th and 25th. I like having sort of like a morning and a night, you know, different stitches on days. And so I'll probably do the dots in the evening when my eyes are a little, I know that sounds weird, but they're actually fresher at the end of the day when I can like hyper focus on a 40 count.
Gotcha.
The Gather Around the Manger, I got a little bit of a start on, and I'm doing it all as one piece. And I have this much of a start. Look how I've got it all tucked in with its floss. But anyway, I have this much. And I have it on an even weave, believe it or not, because I wanted it not to T90. So I started in the lower right, like I do, coming across, and I did not want it to be so tiny that when I did the math on 40 count, it was going to be ridiculous, actually, like 2 inches tall or something. And I was like, no. So I pulled out a piece of Lugana to do it on. So I have that tucked in here. Gather Around the Manger was one of the charts that we had available at the Jingle Ball from Hands On Design.
So this is my January Blessing sampler / my birthday start from last year. So if you'll remember, I turned 36. And so I decided to use 36 count linen for the first time ever. I had done a couple things on 32, but 36 was going to be new for me. And what's really nice about this particular pattern, Beth charted the chickadee in all the different regional color variations of chickadee breeds. And so I stitched mine with the Carolina chickadee in the center.
I love that.
And it was so much fun to work on because as I was adding the poinsettias around the outside border, working on this at Camp WannaStitch, people would come around and I'd explain, yeah, this is the Carolina chickadee. And they'd say, wait, where are you from? Because in Maryland, a lot of people had come from more local. 2 of the ladies at our table lived 45 minutes away.
Right.
So we were the weirdos that had traveled 5.5 hours. But, oh my gosh, you guys, she's going to be so pretty when she's done. And I got all of the words in, and I'm just finishing that circle with flowers.
So this was a kit that I got from the Homespun Needlework group. I guess in 2022, if I had to guess. Maybe it was 2023, but I feel like it was 22. Chris, the camping stitcher, stitched hers right away, has it all fully finished. It's beautiful. I ordered all the parts, so I had the board and all the finishing of everything to go with it from Heartstring Samplery, so made by Matt in the boardroom. And yet, I had not stitched it yet. And so when Mallory was looking for something to stitch on 36 count linen for her 36th birthday, I said, well, let's see what I have kitted. So I handed this over to her to stitch, and so she has really enjoyed that.
I'm enjoying it so much. And it's done with some over-dyed floss, the Color Cotton or whatever that brand name is. Let me double check. This one, Classic Colorworks, sorry.
Yeah.
Classic Colorworks thread, and I've been working one strand over two. And that's the way that Beth actually recommends doing hers, is just doing one strand.
On 36, that's what I always do.
I really enjoyed the Meet the Artist meeting that I was in at the Jingle Ball, because she said that she has several model stitchers that used to be two strands, and that was how they stitched, and now they've converted to being one strand stitchers. I still like the plushness of two strands, but I am definitely enjoying doing a single strand at a time here.
I think it truly depends on whether you're using over-dyed, hand-dyed linen versus standard Zweigart, because you can work two strands on a 36 count if it's just a Zweigart linen that has not been over-dyed, but a hand-dyed linen, it's just, those holes are just too small. You end up having to use a 26 count, a 26 needle to open the holes a little more so that you don't shred your floss every time you pull it through.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, and so one strand is always going to be my way to go, I think, on even 32. I've seen some 32 count over-dyed that really is more like a 34 or 35 because of how tight it gets after shrinkage.
I have definitely learned a lot about linen from this project. The slubs, oh my gosh, the slubs.
See, I love the slubs, but you like a more modern,
like even
you like a modern, clean finish to things, and I like a vintage, the grungier, the better kind of thing. So, yeah. In fact, okay, so then I had another new start. Oh, let's see if I can get to it. Actually, before I try to undo anything
And this is the
else.
bag it's in.
Yes, I made that bag from this scrappy fabric. Yes, it turned out really cute. Yes. So I actually, another project that I started during the Jingle Ball was the Countdown to Christmas by Beth Twist, with the idea that I was going to work on one a month in the month of November. And this is how far I got.
Right. Because lots of things happen in November. I'm not sure you guys remember that, but they do.
But yes, and I never picked it up again really in December. And so here I sit with a project that then, let's see if it's right here on this pile. That somewhere in here we will find something that I ordered. Yeah, I don't know where it is. But just yesterday in the mail, the bell pull ends came for this project. So
nice.
now I'm a little more inspired to work on it because I actually have the
wooden
hardware to hang it up, and it's gorgeous. If it shows up, I'll show it to you. Oh, because there went pieces falling on the floor. I'll show it to you as we get into my haul.
Stitch-a-lanch.
It's a little bit of a stitch-a-lanch.
Okay, who yodeled?
That's right. We told you no yodeling.
Come on, guys.
It's not okay. All right. So then here, this is going to be the real trick, is to see if I can pull out. I just don't think I can get to it in order. Oh, I made it. Woo. Okay.
She did it.
This was another new start for me, and I am so excited about it. Look, first I'll show you the floss. When the floss is in these little floss away bags.
Because it's all silk.
Because it's all silk. You know that it's got to be something amazing like pea corn. So I got the silks for my birthday, and well, I ordered them like in October, but I had a gift card, and so I went, oh, I can go ahead and get the pea corn silks. So I ordered the silks, and then I'd gotten the linen from Evertote in Canada. And so then I got a little tiny start on the pea corn. And it's going to be so beautiful. Like, look how vivid that blue is on there.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes.
So it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. But it turns out that it's not that hard to stitch on this dark green. I thought it would be. It is not. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. This is 36 count. I went out of my way not to get 40 for this project. And I put it in a bag that I had made myself and I love it, and I feel like it matches so nicely with the
Yes.
bright colors and the dark green. And I even have a little scissor keep from my good friend Kari, who taught me how to make these little doofers.
So cute.
So I've got all that together. Yes, got all that together, ready to go whenever I feel the peacorn calling. And I did just get a little
Call of
start.
the peacorn.
Peacorn is not in my milestone manner. It is a paper chart. And I don't love stitching from paper. I prefer being able to zoom in digitally on
Sure.
stuff like that. But I think it's going to be okay. The chart is really clear. You know, it's a nice big color chart. And I think I am going to do page by page, where I don't normally. I sort of more of a typewriter method. Like I'll go all the way across and back typically. So
And you could change your mind. You might
I might.
decide it's easier to put on scroll rods and better to work that way.
yeah, maybe so. Maybe
see.
so. That's right. Okay. you
My
got-
last whip is actually a knitting one.
Oh, well then buckle up, people, because I have so many more whips over here to show you. I'm gonna let's stick with things that I did in Milestone Manor then
Okay.
while I'm at it. So here's Alice. Alice is my Alice in Wonderland chart, and I made a little more progress on her. In 2025, I stitched on Alice for 26 days and did 6,500 stitches. And then in 2026, so far this year, I've only given her one day. She was in Milestone Manor. I went into the room that she's in once and I stitched 500 stitches. So that's as much as she's gotten so far, but I am looking forward to making some more progress on her this year. And I am just leaving her in Milestone Manor. You know, this was my like every morning kind of thread, and I may pick her up like in the second half or second 2/3 of every month. I may go ahead and keep working on her in the morning because it doesn't impact Milestone Manor. You know, like I always just pick it up at where it is and then roll my dice and then see if I hit any milestones during
Sure,
that, you
yeah.
know. So anyway, Alice in Wonderland, I love this one very much. It's going to be a
love it
fun
too.
one to have. All right. And then Winter Sampler is another one from Crochet A Go-Go. Winter Sampler is actually at 43.33%. In 2025, I only put 1,100 stitches in this. Like I just didn't work on it. And so in
Okay,
my
1,100 stitches is not working on it?
that's right. In a year? Come on. I mean,
okay.
that's a day.
Okay.
Actually, I worked on it for 3 days in 2025 and did 1,100 stitches. So in 2026, I've worked on it 1 day and I put 560 stitches in. So, you know, I'm halfway already on what I accomplished all of last year. So that's what I mean.
I gotcha.
So anyway, I am hoping now that this is part of Milestone Manor that I will make a lot more progress on it. I did not defeat this one. I did defeat Christmas Sampler as well as Sparrow. And then the next one that I'm going to show you also got defeated. And it got defeated so well that I pulled it out of a scroll rod. Like I moved it from its spot.
Wow.
So this is Ann Taylor. And it is a sampler from Heartstring Samplery. And I got all of this alphabet stitched during Milestone Manor. I stitched on Ann Taylor for 2,000 stitches in 4 days.
Beautiful.
And in 2025, she only had 1,600 stitches the whole year. So I've doubled what I did last year, you know, and I've made good progress. So I went ahead and took her out of the Milestone Manor room that she was in and thought I'm going to put something else in that spot. Because I love Ann Taylor. I think it's beautiful. But if I could do 2,000 stitches again this year at some point, that's plenty for me. Like I don't need every chart I have to get finished immediately.
But a little progress makes
But a little
you feel
progress,
like
that's right.
you've given her time. That's
Right.
good.
And so I did do Smyrna crosses for this large alphabet, and just regular crosses for the small. And I'm using the called for colors, which are exactly my colors. And this is a piece of tabby cat linen.
It's beautiful. I love the
I'm trying to remember
modeling.
what it's called. Lollybrock. That's
Yes.
Lollybrock.
It's gorgeous.
So yes, I think it's really pretty, and I might change my mind and pull her back out, but I have a lot of samplers that I'm working on, so I want to make sure I give the other ones time. So what I did, because she was in a room that is a pass-through room to a lot of other areas.
Oh, so you have to stitch on her when you go to a different place?
When you go, yeah. So that's why Ann Taylor got defeated, because I left her, went and stitched on something, and had to go back to her, and then left her and had to go back to her to go into a different room. So now that room is empty. So I called it, for the rest of that round, I called that a free space where I could choose anything I wanted to stitch, but I still had to roll.
Sure.
So that's what I did. And it's not right on top, so I can't show you immediately what I worked on it when it was in that room, but I will show it to you in a minute. This is the bag, by the way, that I have all my Christmas sampler floss in. This Tilda bag, isn't it fabulous? The Merry Christmas. It was made by my friend Carol with Fiber Antiquities, and I love it very much.
We love Carol.
And then
She makes great bags.
this is the bag I made, and it holds Sparrow. Now, Sparrow is the project that I put in as my starting point.
That's the perfect zipper pull to go with it too.
Right, isn't it? I thought so. So, Sparrow is at 73%, and I put another 3,200 stitches in.
Oh my gosh.
In January. The big accomplishment of January was I finished the whole top.
Look at that.
Right?
Oh my gosh.
So I finished all the way across the top, which is great. I finished Adam and Eve and the Tree of Life.
Wow.
Which is wonderful. I was so excited. And then I started on the words from right to left, because I don't plan to put the word sparrow in until I am
Last
done.
step.
That's my last thing.
Nice.
So I'm close to finishing this border. That'll be a big accomplishment.
Absolutely.
When I finish the border all the way around.
Yes.
And then I just have, these animals
just
to
that,
put in.
yeah.
But I'm at
lot of
73%.
Yeah.
So literally, like, when I finish the things above the tree, basically 25% of the chart
Will
still
be
right
left,
here.
Yeah.
So, I won't finish
Wow.
it, I don't think, by the end of February, which originally was kind of my goal. Because that would be 2 years since I started it. But that was kind of a fake goal, because this was my 4-year project.
Right.
Like, I just wanted to have this done by 2028. So obviously I have worked diligently on this, and I'm ahead of schedule, and I can just work on it as it's part of Milestone Manor. Now, it was defeated in this round, but I'm just gonna boost it in hit points. Like, I may just reset it to whatever I started with. I think it had 10 maybe. And I'll just reset it to 10 for each round of Milestone Manor until it is completely
Well, this is
finished.
like a boss monster for sure.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So this is his eyes on the sparrow, heartstring samplery. I'm doing it on a fat half of Dirty Teacup in 36 count. And Dirty Teacup is just probably the best fabric there is in all of fabricdom to stitch on. Like, it's wonderful. It's by Needle and Flax, and is by far my favorite color of Needle and Flax.
At the Jingle Ball, Beth Twist teased a little bit about her third in this series.
Oh, right. So that is the rest of the story, is that Beth has a third one coming out at market. So I haven't started Consider the Lilies. I might skip Consider the Lilies and do whatever her third one's called, All Things
Great and Small.
Great and Small. Yeah.
And it's
So-
it's a healthy mixture between his eyes on the sparrow and consider the lilies because you get animals and flowers.
Yes.
And it's gorgeous.
She showed it?
She went like this.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I'm super jealous about that. Oh look, here they are. This is my Beth Twist, matte twist. Bell pulls.
Boardroom?
Yeah, just came yesterday in the mail and they are so cute. Look at this. Look at this. Aren't they
they're
sweet?
so
Oh, it goes this
sweet.
way so you can hang
They're
it.
so delicate.
Aren't they pretty?
They're so pretty.
Yes. So I think that's going to be really sweet. And you know, that bell pull is long and skinny. It's super skinny. It's
Right.
only 3 inches wide.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a sweet decor piece. In fact, it'll be one of those things that when I finish it and it's got the numbers 1 to 25 on it, I don't even care. It'll still hang up all year.
Sure.
I will not take it down. So, all right. Sorry about the crinkle.
Crinkle, crinkle.
Okay, so I've shown you Ann Taylor, Sparrow. Well, here's another. This is a
Gorgeous
bag
bag.
that I bought, and I want to make sure I tell you from Upper Meadow Design Company. This is Alicia, and Alicia had her first quilt that she'd ever had long-armed. She sent to me in the fall that I quilted for her husband for Christmas, which was very sweet.
That's awesome.
And so I actually kitted up a blackbird from the Maria Selby Humphrey book. So we all talk about this all the time. Some of these books have beautiful little smalls. And the small that I liked so much in this was the Summer in Bloom Drum Pin Keep. And I really just like it this way. Like, I'm not gonna make a drum. So I started it on this really grungy piece of Fiber on a Whim Hazelwood. And so I want to show you the whole piece because I absolutely could have done it on the less modeled end.
Right, but you chose the
But I
modeled end because
chose,
it's fun.
yeah, I chose the grungier spot and popped it in a frame. And then I pulled, this is a way to choose your own colors. It works in quilting and it works in stitching. I pulled out color and cotton floss that match this blackbird line of fabric.
Oh, smart.
So I pulled fabrics, I pulled
colors.
floss colors to match the fabric line
That is brilliant.
and then popped them in here to do this piece. Now, what I didn't have then was quite the color of charcoal gray, like this blue gray, to do the basket here,
Oh,
the
okay.
way it's charted. And so I brought it home and went, I need access to all my flosses.
So that you can pull just the right color.
Right. So I'm going to work on it a little bit more to really hone in. It's why Holly says every time, I can't share my color conversion yet because I'm not sure it's going to work. And that's exactly what I mean too, is that I would tell you what colors I'm stitching everything, except I'm not sure yet. I may start over. I may turn that little flower into a scissor fob, and then I may start over on the design. So,
Right.
But I loved this blackbird bag. This is that new Wild Orchid. Well, I say new. The Wild Orchid line of fabric from Blackbird came out in 2016. I made more than one charity quilt using these colors, and this fabric was my absolute favorite. I loved it so much. I bought like 6 yards of that stuff back then. But I used it all up in my charity quilts. And so when I saw it was re-released, I ordered a bunch. So that's also part of my haul, although I didn't bring it in here to show you because I buy fabric at a rate that's embarrassing. But then I saw that Alicia had these bags and I was like, you know what? If I buy that from her, I don't have to cut into my fabric yet. I can save it for later.
My fabric will remain pristine.
That's right. And that is what I did.
There you go.
So, all right, here's another one. I'm sorry this has turned into the Lori show, but with Milestone Manor, I touched a lot of things. So this is Mary Gibson, and Mary Gibson is this huge, big sampler from, here we go. It goes this way. From Whilst Iris Naps.
Wow.
And so I finished the top border and started my way down this side. when I was stitching for Milestone Manor.
And it
I
connected?
only had 455 stitches. I think I rolled a 450. So I only did 450 stitches one day, but all of last year, I only ended up stitching 2,000 stitches, 1950 actually. So I'm hoping that this one will get a lot more play in Milestone Manor through the year. I would like to get this at 50% in 2026. We'll see, but that's my goal with this.
She's
sampler.
a big girl.
She is a big girl. She's the one I was watching Carol. And Carol said, you could have gotten this through the Homespun Needlework group, but now it's available to everybody, so you should stop this video and go buy it. And that's what I did. Because you should always listen to Carol.
Thank you, Carol.
Yes, SaltboxStitcher, by the way. So anyway, I started her, and I do love it. I'm stitching it on a piece of Maple Bar from Cedar River Linen.
It's a beautiful color.
It is. I loved it. It's kind of got almost an orangey cast, but there's some really beautiful red houses. This is a 2 red house chart.
Wow.
So I'm looking forward to working on that one. And then this is my American sampler, which I also worked on as part of Milestone Manor. American sampler, I did 7,800 stitches when I started it on the 4th of July. You know, really only 15 days I worked on it in 2025. And then it's only gotten 1 day so far in 2026, but it got 600 more stitches. So that's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
And this is where I am. So it's on a piece of Saltbush from Fox and Rabbit, which is a great gray. Like if you're looking for a ground fabric for your patriotic stitching.
So your white will show?
So your white will show, and so it's not a golden brown. Like, you know, if you want a grayer tone, I feel like Saltbush is just perfect because it kind of has a little green cast, and so the greenery looks really pretty.
It does.
But the red just really pops
It does,
beautifully,
yes.
and the white really shows. So.
Yeah.
So I'm at American Sampler. I'm at 28.32% on this one, which is really good. And
Yes.
I will continue working on this all year because it's that Americana stuff that we're all working on this year.
Yeah.
I have it in a bag from JulieJustSews. That's Holly Jones' mom. And I love it so much.
It's amazing.
So I just have it tucked in this little folder since it's got a digital chart. See, a lot of mine that are digital, you know, I can just have them in a small
That's how you're
folder.
able to say you're
Honestly,
at
that's
28%.
Mary Gibson's folder is also from Julie.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Yep, that's how I'm able to know exactly what percentage I
That's
am.
fantastic.
All right, where are we now? These are the bags that I have made. We'll show those in a minute. Oh, this is the bag that I have winter sampler stuff in. This is a bag I made, but doesn't it look wintry?
It does.
It just felt like, you know, anyway.
Wonderful.
And I started winter sampler so long ago that I have its flosses bobbinated
Oh, yeah.
and in one of these boxes. So I needed a big bag for it. So, and it's weird to pull out because I don't work from bobbins anymore. And so every time I get it out, I'm like, okay, let's go back into past Lori's brain and see if we can figure that out. Okay, so this is another new start for me. And this is a bag I made. It's called Americana Mamas Lady Columbia. And it is by Beth Twist. And I want to put this out there mainly so if any of you are looking for smalls that you can stitch for the 250th anniversary of America, these are fantastic. So there's 3 in the series, Americana Mamas 1, 2, and 3, and it's Lady Columbia, so it says Justice. And then the second one is Lady Liberty and says Liberty. And the third one is Rosie the Riveter and says Equality. And so you have justice, liberty, and equality, all of which I feel like we should be striving to uphold in this 250th anniversary.
Yes.
So I got a nice start on her. Yeah,
this
goes
is-
this way. Yeah. And I put it on a pretty big piece of R&R fabric because I'm probably just going to stitch both pillows before I finish it. So, so each one has the pillow that has the girl, the woman on it, and then it has a complementary pillow, the one that goes with Columbia says, I stand with Columbia. So they're just beautiful, and they're kitted with gorgeous colors. I picked up a bunch more flosses when I was on my retreat at the local needlework shop to make sure I had plenty of all the colors that it calls for. I probably already had plenty, but
but now you're set.
But now I'm really set. Yeah, I've got it on 36 count Patriot sprue, which seemed very appropriate.
Super appropriate.
And it's Weeks and Classic Colorworks for the most part, and one DMC. So yes, I'm really enjoying that. So I'm expecting to work on all of those in series, and they're digital charts. So, you know, that's nice. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say this. We have a giveaway, but one of the giveaways I want to give away in this video is a PDF of any heartstring samplery chart. So what you'll do to win that is say heartstring in your comment to us. And when you do, if you're the winner, I will contact you and I will get your email address, and then I will get you a PDF from Beth and her shop, because I love being able to access her charts PDF. I don't think I would be as far as I am on his eyes on the Sparrow if I had not bought the PDF of Sparrow
and it
back
moves
in
into
2024.
Markup so smoothly.
So well, yeah. Her charts are well designed digitally. They print nicely. Obviously, you saw I had a paper version of that. That's just in case my iPad's dead. You know, like I do go ahead and print the one I'm working on sometimes, but I really prefer working on it in markup more than anything. So
again, the word heartstring, capital H for heartstring.
That's right.
In the comments if you would like to enter for that.
Yes. Okay, I'm getting close to the end. I don't have too many left. This was another new start. This is a bag from JulieJustSews. She's one of my favorites. I've had this chart fully kitted for at least 2 years. Just sitting in my kits waiting to go in this bag. And I was like, why? What am I waiting for? Like, I, like everyone else in the world, ordered the new America 250 from the attic this week because they opened that up to all of us. But it's going to be a while before they get that to us. And so I literally opened this beautiful kit that's half color and cotton and half DMC. And this is how lazy I was. Like, I put my DMC in floss away bags because I did not want to take time to cut them and put them on floss tags. Now, maybe I will, but I didn't yet. But I had floss away bags laying there from where I had kitted Peacorn. And this is American Welcome by Plum Street. And I love this chart so much, and I've had it in my kit forever. I bought it from the bonus kits that were available from the Farm Girl retreat where Paulette was. And I did a center start that I'm going to have to remember which way is up.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. No, it's
Well,
the
it's
house.
got a chimney.
It's got a chimney.
Yeah, you're good.
So it's not giving me the finger. It has a chimney. Okay. I know. We both are terrible. So anyway, I did a little start right in the middle so that I could get going on this, and mainly just so I could, you know, say, oh, I think
You
I
were
just
showing
showed
the back of your work.
I was. Well, I can't tell the difference.
A sassy little backside there.
There you go. So there's the front. Okay. But anyway, yeah. And so it's the fabric that was in the kit. It's the floss that was in the kit. It's been aging in my stash for no apparent reason.
But aging like fine wine.
I suppose. But I thought while I wait on America 250 it's called, I would start American Welcome and maybe even get it finished before that chart gets here.
That would be amazing.
So I have American Sampler, American Welcome, and Americana Mamas. And those are really my patriotic plans for the next few months. And eventually American 250 will get here. And I had another thing I'd written down for my patriotic plans, but I guess that was it. Those are the main ones. Okay, so then this is coming up this month. This is a bag I made myself.
Beautiful bling.
I made it in October when I went to that retreat, again, as a palette cleanser. And this is a piece of Blackbird fabric that my friend Joyce gave me to put on the back of it because I didn't have any backing fabric there with me. And what's in here is my good friend Kari's birthday sal. So Kari Tiger Lily Designs is got a big birthday at the end of the month, January 31st. She will turn 50. It's her Jubilee year. Woo! And so she partnered with my sister samplers to bring out this chart a little early. They're going to have the full sampler released at market, but this is a little smaller version. The full reproduction will come out at market. This is one that doesn't have the alphabet. Kari's not into stitching alphabet, and so she, scaled it down a little bit. It's still huge. What's the stitch count on that?
222 wide, 191 high.
Right. So it's still plenty big. But Kari did kits that she sold the Gloriana silks as well as the fabric and the chart. I didn't get the Glorianas because I have a lot of fabric and a lot of floss. And I thought, well, I'm going to get the fabric because it's peach fuzz from Weeks Dye Works. And I don't have anything peachy in my stash. Here's what I've got right now. So I got a nice start on it. I pulled the DMC, and then from the DMC, I pulled Color and Cottons, and I got a pretty good match. And then I wondered if I had enough silk, and lo and behold, I had enough Belle Soie to match the colors called for in the chart.
Wow.
That I did a Belle Soie conversion. And I am very happy with the colors that I've chosen, so I will happily tell you those colors if you contact me on Instagram or send us an email at stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com. So either of those, but I love working with Belle Soie, and so I love the variegation in them. Like most of this red that I've done so far in these carnations is Poison Apple, which is one of my very favorite reds. So anyway, I think this is gonna be fun. It does not look as peachy pink anymore.
Now that you got some harsher red tones on it.
Once you get some other colors on it. But that's sort of the magic of stitching, the interaction with the floss and
the ground fabric.
And the ground fabric is really different. Kimberly says all the time, when you stitch on that pale gray gingham like you like, that you no longer see that it's gingham when you're done.
The Toadstool Kisses, I started working on it, and I started in the middle with the word hug, and as soon as I finished hug, I was like, where'd my gingham go?
Yes, it's amazing how quickly it goes away. So Kari's kit came with these fun blingy things that she had gotten, and so, I've got bling from Kari in there, and so that makes it a fun one to pull out and work on.
Yes. The stitch lanch looks like it's getting more
I know, it's
now falling over.
Right. I'm thoroughly pinned in here. Nobody yell fire, okay? Because I'll have to push this table over.
Oh, I really hope Gingersnap isn't deciding to bake her own birthday cake right now.
Oh, that's fair. Do you know when you're 14, you tell your grandmother and your mother, I'm going to bake my own cake tomorrow. And you're like, why? Why would you do that? You have not one but two people willing to make a cake for you. Fine.
No, I hope she waits. She said she wanted to bake it with me. So
okay,
that'll be fun.
That is good. So when I defeated Ann Taylor and I had a free space, that coincided with watching both Jessica Sweetwater Stitcher and Holly Jones, Mrs. Jones Stitches, who are currently working on Sweetheart's delivery from Blackbird Designs for their blessing sampler. So it is this little blue house sampler from the Walker Sisters chart. Now, I went to this retreat last October, in October of 24, with Alma Allen and from Blackbird Designs. And so I got, like, my copy here doesn't have a hard cover on it. It was just the pre-release version of the booklet. So I may still buy an actual booklet, but they're identical. It would be crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, I decided that I would work on my whip of Sweetheart's Delivery. And I'm not going to pull the hoop off of it because this is really where I was working. I did finish this flower and down that side of the border, and I did the whole house, and I brought this border down, and I got this portion in. So I've gotten a lot done on mine, and you know, it's only the 23rd. If I want to, I think I could finish this for my blessing sampler.
And you're using like 40 needles. That's crazy.
Yes, so that's not always the way I work, but when I'm changing colors as often as I do on a chart like this, I usually, now you see there right now they're a mess, but when I settle into stitch, I go ahead and do each color of the red, each color of the green,
And
you
have
know,
it, like,
and
preloaded?
have it ready to go, so that and what I've done quite a few times is just pulled my strand that I'm stitching with off to the side and park it and then stitch over it and then bring it back in so that I don't have to, you know,
tuck-ins and re-thread and
all the things.
Yeah.
So the nicest part, of course, because I went to the retreat, is I have this little Sweetheart's Delivery, you know, floss keeper, and they gave us all the floss and the fabric. So this is on Abecedarian, which is the called for R&R, and everything about it is the kit from my retreat. So it would really be nice to finish that. And she was my free space. So I rolled when I got in there, and I rolled 2,700 stitches. That's how you get a house done, people.
Sure.
You know, it's like, okay, well, I'm not really counting because it's a paper chart. But when I do the math on this house, the house alone is 1,800 stitches.
There you go.
So if I bring this border all the way down and I
Add
do
some
the
greenery.
whole house,
Yep.
there I'm going to call that 2,700 stitches. That's how I count stitches when it's a paper chart. I just do a reasonable approximation. I don't stitch by stitch analyze things. Okay, we're getting really close. So Maria Wales Newson is in this bag from my friend Carol at Fiber Antiquities. I just loved this William Morris. I thought it was so gorgeous. I ordered the whole set from her. And it is a stitch along in the Friends of Hands Across the Sea stitching group on Facebook. I'm not really following the stitch along per se because I was a cheater pumpkin eater and got my 10% start on this project before the first of the year because I knew they were starting it in January. I knew I'd have a lot going on in January. I didn't know how much I would get stitched. And I worked on this actually during the Harvest Moon Hangout.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember.
And worked on, and I was surprised by how much I got done. But I popped it in the scroll rod because I've been stitching a lot in these and I'm really enjoying them. So I've just stopped right in the middle here when I set it down the other day. Yeah. But it's a beautiful sampler. I love stitching these flowers. They're exactly the kind of flower that I drew when I was a little girl. So I sort of feel like, you know, it's my art. I know it's not. That's silly. But anyway, the whole time I'm working on it, I feel like it's something I could have designed. I feel a real closeness to Maria.
The connection to a piece is important.
I think so too. And you know, and I've started other charts, other samplers recently that I have not made much headway on, but I do plan on keeping Maria Wales Newson 1838 out all year. Oh, and I totally spoiled myself. So like this little needle minder and then the thread bling came from Minnie McBean's Fripperies in England. Like I've got the matching little thread bling, and then my favorite thing of all was the bag pull. And I just don't even know, there's no way to show it to you, but it's a daisy and it's little daisy head spins. It's a spinner.
Oh yeah, it's like a fidget toy.
It's like a fidget toy. It's a spinner. Look at it. I'm like, I just don't even know where to go with that. It's so pretty. So anyway, that it's just throw it over there somewhere because I can't get it back into the pile down here. So
sure. She's going right there.
yes. So Maria Wales Newson, 1838. I'm actually stitching that on a piece of I don't remember which color it is. It's from Legacy Fiber Arts. Millstone, maybe? Here, this is why I write it down.
That is a big help to have your details
It is, in fact, 40 count millstone. And so, look at me remember things. Anyway, I love it super much. It's one of my favorites. Okay, I think what we have now accomplished are all my whips. But before I hand it over, because you're going knitting from here, right?
Yes.
Okay, before I hand it over, we're going to stick, this is a floss tube after all, and I'm going to talk about cross stitch for just a minute because...
Oh, we've been talking about cross stitch for a minute.
I know, for just a minute, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I made a couple of these bags. So
It's the cutest ever.
isn't this fun?
Do you see this?
So this is Lori Holt fabric and a Lori Holt pattern from Farm Girl Vintage. And I just love it. I love it so much. And I made it on purpose because I'm going to participate in the Fat Quarter Shop Quilted Farm Girl Stitch Along. So inside here, I have, actually, I don't think I have a copy of the pattern. Well, yes, I do. I've got the front page.
Cover photo.
I have the cover photo because I muscled it into markup. So I have put my PDF in markup so that I can stitch from there because that is my absolute favorite. I'm going to stitch mine a little differently. Mallory's also planning to stitch this. So Mallory's stitching hers closer to what the original chart looks like.
Right.
And I'm doing a little modification for mine. You'll see that when it happens. But I haven't decided. Fat Quarter Shop sent me gray spinel because I told them I prefer to stitch on linen. And this is a gorgeous color of fiber on a whim. I don't know if you've ever seen gray spinel, but it's really close to saltbush. Like of all the grays, I have a hard...
Maybe a little browner?
Maybe a little browner, but I mean, look at this gray. It's great, like a true gray. I think it's nicer than Weeks gray, which a lot of people stitch on when they want a gray. Anyway, I love that one. And then they also sent me a yard of just flax, which is just a 36 count flax. So it's just a Swigart color.
Nice.
So, and it's also a more gray. Flax is one of my favorite browns anyway. Because this was stitched on a 25 count,
Even weave?
Farmhouse by Lori Holt is the color that they call for, but I really did not want to do 25 count. But we are going to use all of the great Classic Colorworks colors. I mean,
many colors.
Lori Holt's palette, those aquas, I mean, everything about it. It's just so pretty. And
I pulled most of my colors are DMC. I had to substitute a few because some of the DMCs weren't at the store when I went to Dying to Stitch.
right. Well, and then coming up after that, starting in April, will be Farmyard Friends, which is the sweet little stack of animals that's got the rooster on top, the aqua rooster with a woolly sheep and a little pink pig and a little cow on the bottom. It is so precious. So Fat Quarter Shop has the full thread pack for Quilted Farm Girl, as well as full thread packs for Farmyard Friends. And then the charts are available right now, PDF. You can download them today, or you can order the paper chart, which, It's So Emma does Lori's cross stitch designs. And so they're in color and they're really readable, you know, page by page. The print is very large, so they're great to stitch from. The stitch along for the Quilted Farm Girl starts in February, so you still have time to get it kitted up and start that with us next month. But she is so cute, and on 25 count she finishes a reason like 12.5 by 14, so she's not gigantic, you know, especially not the girl by herself. Like the whole chart is 12.5 by 14, so it's not a huge piece. If you do it like I do on 36 or 40 count, 36 she's 8.5 by 10, so she might fit, you know, in a more standard frame. On 40 count, she is definitely going to fit in an 8 by 10 frame. She's 7.75 by 8.75. So I can fit her in an 8 by 10. You know, it'll be tight top and bottom, but I think it'll be fine. So anyway.
I love her so much. The only change I am making to the original pattern is in place of strawberries in the basket that the farm girl is holding, I will be putting eggs.
Yes, because
I'm such a chicken mama, and I go on an egg hunt every day.
Yeah. And we're getting a dozen a day, so we have eggs coming out our ears, and that's an appropriate thing for us to have more than we have strawberries. Although we do live just very close to a strawberry farm, which is really fun to
It's nice to go picking. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I've got some more things to show you, believe it or not. I'm going to take a little bit of a break and show you one more plan that I have. So this, and tell you about this. So this is, Apoon made me this wonderful project bag and clamshell holder to match my ultimate travel bag that she had made for me. And so, you know, my colors were unintentionally patriotic. Like this is just Bonnie and Camille, right? Sure. But I just love red and navy, and so it came out so nicely patriotic that I've stuck a couple of other patriotic pieces in that I plan to work on that I had kitted and should. So I have the summer salt boxes from Plum Street that I have all kitted up.
That's so
and
cute.
So I'm gonna work on that one, I think. I love the way the flag goes all the way across the two pieces.
That too.
And so the idea is you actually stitch these white backgrounds so that it looks like Polaroid.
Yeah.
But I think I will omit the white backgrounds and just do like smush the two pictures together.
Oh yeah.
You know, combine the flag so that it actually stitches across there,
that's great.
and have the two pictures. So that's my summer salt boxes that I'm going to stitch. And then I've still not finished all the Seasons of the Heart. And I love them. I have given away Season of the Heart Winter. I stitched for a Smalls Exchange, and I don't own it. And I have Season of the Heart Autumn that I stitched in silk. So I may stitch the other 3 this year, but I'm certainly going to stitch summer because I love, again, all the flags in there. And I have a big birthday coming up, so I would like to have a few pieces that are on my birthday list of things to have done. My birthday's July 1st, and I also end in a 0 this year because I'm going to be 60. So
whoop, whoop.
I know, right? Pretty awesome. I don't even remember. Oh, and then this is immediate plan because I started these last year and I cannot justify buying the new Heart in Hand Valentine heart
when you have
when
this much
I
done.
still have the 2025 Valentine heart underway. So it's super cute, but I did catch myself, you know how you do, like doing a drive-by in the shop. I was like, I wonder if Fat Quarter Shop has the kit for the new one, and they do.
But
and
you
it's wonderful.
You should still love who you are.
That's right. So I'm doing this one on 32 count Belfast, which is what came in the kit. And then I've got my flosses all kitted up. And it looks like I needed some Mountain Mist, and I stole it, probably from my Anniversaries of the Heart, because I didn't have enough. But I did buy a bunch this weekend, so I'm excited about that.
There you go.
All right. I think that might be everything until haul.
All right. Well, the last work in progress that I'm showing, I'm a little disappointed that I haven't finished because I did intend it to be a birthday gift.
Oh.
And here we are.
Here we
It's
are.
the day of the birthday and it is not done.
But she's really patient with that sort of thing.
Yes.
So, yes.
At the beginning of November, my oldest daughter and I went shopping at our local Hobby Lobby. We do not have a specialty yarn store. We do not have a specialty cross-stitch store. It's what we have.
Right.
So at Hobby Lobby, they had this low pill yarn in these beautiful green and black colors. And Erin said, that would make a great scarf. And I said, okay. So I grabbed those two colors and planned on working on it. Well, guys, then I discovered double knitting, which, as you might know, means that you're knitting both sides of the fabric at the same time and creating the reverse or negative image on the opposite side. And so I started
Here, I'm gonna hold
my
that part up
double
while you-
knitting journey with just this checkerboard, and then moved into a geometric flower. I had to unstitch and restitch it. Part of learning a new process is you don't always get it right away. And it wasn't until I had finished the section and was ready to start the next one that my daughter, Gingersnap, finally realized, oh, this is for me? Yes, baby girl, this is for you. And so she actually designed both this section and this section of the scarf, and then gave me input on the mermaid scales, which is this section. And then her father designed this part. So I got to about the halfway point in the scarf and realized, okay, I'm either gonna have to start stitching my motifs upside down as they go around the back of the neck and then are on the other side of the scarf, or I could cast it off and then graft it later, and that's what I went for. So here is my current half that I'm working on with my messy circulars, please ignore. But it starts with the same kind of checkerboard at the bottom, only this time it goes into dinosaurs, rar, and then mushrooms, and now this section, which is called ceramic, and you can sort of see like the ceramic tiles
Oh, yeah.
that are coming in.
Yeah, that's gonna be fantastic.
Yes. So it has taken exceptionally more time than I expected, because each row, while it's 33 pixels wide, is 66 stitches, because you are stitching the front and back side of the fabric at the same time. Who else hates their brain? I mean, like, I found that this stretches my knowledge of knitting, but also just like makes my brain do aerobics, which it's really not about sometimes. So occasionally this is a breeze, and then occasionally it's like pulling teeth. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And now that I have some
This is like the
experience,
confetti of knitting, right? Because, you know, in cross stitch, when you've got a whole bunch of confetti and you have to count.
sort of. The challenge is because you're knitting front and back of the fabric and you're working in pairs, you have to remember that your opposite stitch, you knit one stitch and then purl one stitch, knit one, purl one, and each pair has to be the opposite color.
So it's
And
like
you-
knit green, purl black, knit green, purl black. And
But then you need to change colors. So then you knit black, purl green. And then you go back to knit green, purl black.
oh, right, because of the pattern.
Because of a pattern, yes. And so it is,
Wow.
it's a stretch. And
Yes.
I'm enjoying it, but it is, it's a lot.
Yes.
I originally purchased, when I was in Boone, some yarn for my mother-in-law, because I thought, ooh, that would be so cool if I could double knit her a scarf. And so I picked these 3 colors and picked up a book that had some patterns. Actually, I'll show that too.
I love all those colors.
But this book, which is fantastic and has some beautiful charts in it that would absolutely apply to cross stitch as well as knitting, I flipped through it and she loved every single bird. So I'm going to make a bird scarf. This is going to be a collection of birds on a scarf. I think that that will delight her. She's a bird lover. And what I found interesting about this is, as I was flipping through, I realized that the artist that's knitting these does not do jogless joining of their color work. And so you can actually see where the end of the chart is as a pretty dramatic jog. And I thought, oh, but I don't have to do that because I've learned how to not do that anymore.
Right.
So it's cool to feel like I've made enough progress as a knitter that I can see that kind of information in a finished piece and know how to avoid it for myself.
Sure.
But this was a just cause gift for myself DPN holder, which I thought was super cute.
That's nice.
So if you're in progress and you need to hold DPNs, this will keep your knitting safe.
That's fantastic.
I've wanted one of those for a while.
Uh-huh.
And then this is going to be the size, I think it's a 5. Yep, US 5 that I'm going to be working on the scarf for her.
Fantastic.
So all of this is in a bag together so that when I finish the first scarf,
When is her birthday? Is that coming up?
August.
Oh, yeah, you got lots of time.
I have
Good.
time.
That
I
is
have
good.
time.
That's great.
Oh yeah, the other bit of haul that we got for her was Mike actually picked out this pattern. It's a biscornu that looks like a nest. It's a biscore nest.
Oh, a biscore nest. Oh, I love that.
Isn't that wonderful? And
Yes.
he immediately saw this little cardinal and said, ooh, if I stitch that on 32 or 36 count, it could be a great little scissor fob. And I was like,
I'm telling you, the man loves to stitch tiny. Tiny. Over 1 on 36 count does not daunt him at all.
Nope.
He is undaunted.
nope. In fact, he even bought himself readers when we were at our retreat because he was having trouble seeing the white on white stitching. And so he looks fabulous in them. They are a bright, bright purple and the same similar shape anyway as his current glasses.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, they're just Gengar. Those are
That's-
Gengar glasses.
That's
great.
nice. Fantastic. Well, so I have a little more haul I wanted to show you. I bought a lot of things from the Jingle Ball. I'm not sure I brought all of it in. Some of it, though, is here. Let me pull it over here so I can just show it to you. This was one of the things that I bought from after the Jingle Ball. I saw someone was stitching it. Gosh, I don't remember who it was now on social media that posted this that made me go, I think I need that for January stitching, and then I won't get to it in January, so we'll see. But it's the Chili Cardinals sampler from Artful Offerings,
so cute.
and I actually saw that Jackie is finishing this comfort stitching. It's wonderful. But there was somebody who had stitched only these two, like the up and down one,
Where they're
and
looking
had
at each other?
and had put their anniversary date in between.
That's so cute.
And their initials instead of turning it into the full sampler. And I thought that was so smart. Now, the whole thing is only 150 by 116. So it is doable if you wanted to stitch it, quickly in a month.
This is reminding me that we got our cardinal sampler that we stitched together. Fully finished. It's just hanging in the bathroom, being art where we wanted it to be.
Right, and we forgot to show it. So
Can I go grab it?
go grab it. Absolutely. Another thing that I don't always bring every month is that I'm in the Floss Frenzy Club, the Floss Fix Club, and the other Floss Club for Belle Soie, all from Fat Quarter Shop, so that I can build my floss stash every month. And then I get Gentle Arts from Millennial Fabrics every month. And so this was my Gentle Arts floss that I got in. I joined the Color and Cotton Club. I am so grateful and I just did the neutrals. But I did it in both 36 and 40 because I love color and cotton linen and I can't ever decide whether I want to work on 36 or 40. Okay, we interrupt this part of the haul to show you this gorgeous thing. How gorgeous is this thing? Okay, so this is from Owl Forest Embroidery. It's the larger paid version and it's called Christmas Birds. And I bought it maybe 3 or 4 years ago now, probably in 2021. Watching Samantha, the Huga Stitcher. She did a lot of Owl Forest embroidery. And I bought this one and another one that I have finished in the other room that was all chickadees at the same time. And I finished the chickadee piece because it was on 18 count Ada and I enjoyed working on it more. I traveled with this one for a while because it's 14 count Aida, and I thought anything this big, I've got to do it on 14 count or I'll never finish it. And I did a lot. I had done probably 70% of it when I just folded it up and put it away because I wasn't enjoying stitching on Aida anymore. And it's all DMC, and Mallory found it kitted in there and abandoned, and offered to finish it because she loves to stitch on DMC, on 14 count with DMC. So Mallory finished it. I think I had actually come all the way to the bottom, and then you went over and finished over this way. So,
well, you were almost at the bottom.
yeah, like I'd done this bird, hadn't I?
Yes, but you hadn't done this corner stuff.
Right,
And
right. So
I just did the bottom band, basically.
yes, and this stack, you did these female cardinals and this whole area, I think. So anyway, so this is another one of those pieces that we get to say was stitched by Stitching on Island Time.
Both of us.
And we chose to put this one under glass, which is why you're probably seeing some reflection. We are hanging this in a bathroom, and so I think that needs to have glass. Just
saying.
Just saying.
Bathrooms are yucky. We're all human. We
That's
know
right.
that bathrooms are yucky. But at least this protects the stitching, and whenever you need to, just give it a little wipe down.
That's right. So I ordered my frame from Art to Frame, and it came lickety split, and Mallory laced it and put it in there.
I did. Look at that.
Look at that. And we have not covered the back yet because we hung it straight on the wall.
That's
So,
right. We've been loving and enjoying having it up,
Yes. So
which is why we forgot it.
that's right.
Because it's become part of the house now.
That's right. It has been great. This is a bag that I made, and I was whipping up bags with the scraps from this quilt, but trying to make them a reasonable size. And so anyway, they came out, all the ones that I did that were patchwork at the same time as this one, ended up all of them slightly different sizes. And I kind of like it. But in here, I slipped one of the things I purchased from the Jingle Ball. So it's kitted and ready to go. I have the Blue Flowers Winter Moth that I would love to start soon. I think it's wonderful.
It's gorgeous.
And I ordered the linen, but I actually ordered Aida because I thought if I have scraps from this, Mallory will enjoy stitching on this bright green.
Yes,
but
wouldn't
it's
that make great
so
ornaments?
much, yes, it would make great ornaments. It's so much greener.
It looks
than
more teal in the picture.
shows that I'm probably going to use a different fabric. And you know me, I just like stitching on linen more. But I did get the Gloriana silk thread pack. So I have the silks, and I'm probably going to stitch it on a linen instead. But this is another bag then that I made, and it even had a scissor holder that I did in Scrappy, like the leftover pieces of the 9 patches.
I'm a big fan of that.
So
Use the whole buffalo.
that's right. So Winter Moth was one of my very favorite things from the Jingle Ball stores. And then I bought some PDFs. So one of the PDFs I bought was Beth Twist's new little pillow, Repeat the Sounding Joy, I think it says. And so I picked up a couple of pieces of linen from her to do that pillow on. So this is a piece of 40 count Wabi Sabi dowry chest. And then I wanted tea set in the 32 count, but she was out of tea set, and I ended up with Weeks Gray, which is not my favorite, but it will go in the stash, and I'm sure I will use it for an ornament sometime. So
The perfect project will reveal itself
that's right.
in its timing.
But see what I mean with Weeks Gray? Look, compare it to...
Saltbush on your patriotic? No? What are we comparing it to?
Yeah, that sounds right. One of those. I don't remember. There was one we were going to compare it to, and now I don't remember. Anyway, it's gray, but it's not.
It's definitely more of a brown.
It's more brown.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a couple more bags I made.
I have the matching counterparts right over there.
Right.
You made one for me too.
So when I went on my retreat, I made 8 project bags. I really cut out 9, but I didn't have a lining fabric that I wanted to use on the mushroom bag for me. So I brought it home unsewn so that I can pull a lining fabric for it. But I found this cute farm animal print that I just loved so much. And so I made that for my Farmyard Friends kit when I get ready to start that.
That's perfect.
And then this one, I saw the owls first, and I loved them so much. And then she had a charm pack of Night Owl by Gingerbread there, and so I was like, well, then I'm gonna have to make a scrappy, make the whole line bag. And I do love all the colors in this, and this was not part of the line, but it looked so good with it that's how it ended up at the top.
Yeah.
So I have enough of this to make a couple more. I haven't decided. I may make them as giveaways for our Stitch East.
In the Satsuma Street Halloween collection, there's one of an owl, and it's called Wise Guy.
Nice. That's
I really
fun.
want to stitch it. Mike similarly found another one of the Halloween ones, and it's mushrooms growing out of a skull, and it's called Fun Guy.
That's great.
So we might order Fun Guy and Wise Guy just to have some fun stitches.
So I forgot to say earlier when I was showing you my Quilted Farm Girl stitch along that I would like to give away a PDF of the Quilted Farm Girl from Fat Quarter Shop as well. So if you would comment farm in your post, so far we've had heartstring and farm, then you could win a PDF of Quilted Farm Girl. I want to say the best part about these 2 PDFs that we're giving away this time is they're available to anyone worldwide. So please, dear sweet Canadian friends, jump in. We would love for you to win those.
All of our overseas friends.
All of our overseas friends. We are happy to give those away. My last piece of haul is this month's keeper from my keeper club from Kari Tiger Lily. I thought it was gorgeous. I absolutely love roses, but to me, this print is giving Beauty and the Beast vibes.
Oh, very. Yes.
Like it is so Disney princess
Yes.
that it just makes me super happy. And then the inside of this one is this hot pink, which is just great. So now I have to decide if I want to move my Pretty in Pink project into this one. I don't think I will. I think I'm going to kit this with some spring things that I have coming up that I want to start. So I think that'll be great. How about you? You got anything else to show?
I think yes, I have one more
Okay.
trek into yarn.
Okay.
So here is where we stopped at a yarn store just down the street from Ocean City, Maryland. And they said, oh, you should check out Sea Needles. They have a great selection of yarn. And they also have cross stitch and all the other. And I was like, okay, great, awesome. We hopped in the car, we start driving. We crossed the Delaware state line. And that's how we knew it was in Delaware.
There you go. Just down the street.
They had this amazing yarn that is 100% recycled materials called Remix. And I was like, how cool is that? And it's got interesting pops of different colors in it. It's got a good texture to it. It's 30% nylon, 27% cotton, 24% acrylic, 10% silk, and 9% linen, which is the most crazy heritage of yarn that I'd ever heard of. And I was like, I need them. These will be made into my tiny toads.
Oh, sure.
So these will make little toad needle minders, frog friends for anybody that needs to have a little frog that sits with them and keeps them from needing to frog. So those were a yes. And then the other big yes, I've already made it less pretty than it was because I've taken off its beautiful label. But this was a skein of yarn at the same establishment.
That's so mermaidy.
I know, right? Okay, so
I love it.
I had the label. I'll just put what kind of yarn it is on the screen for you guys. And I started working on a shawl project. And y'all,
oh,
is this not going to be the most gorgeous?
Oh, yes.
Gorgeous shawl?
So mermaidy.
Okay, so it's got a nice stretch. I'm doing an I-cord edging to give it a nice, perfectly reversible. So it's all knit, so garter stitch, and then an I-cord edge, and I'm just increasing on each row. But the way that the color plays together is so nice. I started this watching a movie with my husband last night. So it's also knitting up super quick.
She knits so fast, but yes.
Well,
that's
and chunky
beautiful.
needles, size 11s, and that it's just working up really fast. But this big old thing of yarn, it told me it wanted to be a shawl when it grows up. So that's what I'm doing.
There you go. Sometimes they tell you these things.
They do.
Yeah, the lavender in that especially, I love.
I do
That's
too.
fantastic. Okay, we had a giveaway on November 30th that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. So this is the Home for the Holidays book from Blackbird, and I had 2 copies of it, and so I brought this back just to show you because I still haven't fully finished anything, but this was the chart that's in that book that I finished back in November, and I'm almost positive. Yes, I definitely showed it to you last time. So it's one of the charts that's in this book, but you know, there's just some great ones. Christmas Garden is in there and some other ones. And I drew a winner from
nice
our
stockings.
previous, oh, it's in my pictures. I did a screenshot so Mallory can put it in. But Beverly Boyce, 6687, won this book. So
Congratulations.
Beverly, we love that name, and we are happy to send you this book. If you will email me at stitchingonislandtime@gmail.com, make sure I've got your mailing address, then we will pop this in the mail to you. So congratulations.
It's a good size, so it can't go to a P.O. box.
That's
it needs to go
right.
to an
Well,
actual mailing address.
Right, yes, please. Yeah, if you would, just give us your address. We'll get that to you. Let's see, coming up next week after next, technically, I guess, we're going to Barefoot Needle Arts.
Oh my gosh, yes we are.
We can't wait. And we're so excited. So when we went to Barefoot Stitching Retreat in October of 2024 was, you know, we saw tons of people that we knew from FlossTube, but we didn't have a FlossTube. And everybody there was like, why don't you have a FlossTube? You should have a FlossTube. Why don't you have it? Well, you know, so because we live in the woods.
At its finest.
Yes, because we live in the woods, and it was, I mean, literally for over a year, Mallory has gone into town
To
and,
upload videos.
you know, stood on one foot and tried to get enough Wi-Fi to be able to, yeah, it's terrible.
Sometimes it takes a couple hours. I just bring
So,
stitching, it's fine.
Right. Now, though, I think with our, I'm going to say high speed, now we have Starlink as a supplement to our DSL that we use so that we have cell phone coverage. Anyway, I think now we can actually upload videos from home, which is great. And yeah, we'll see if this works. Of course, I have no idea how long this is. I feel like we've been in here forever.
We are over 2 hours.
Are we? Well, here we go. Anyway, we'll be at Barefoot February 5th through the 8th. If you hadn't heard, they have a new storefront. They've moved around the corner in the same shopping mall, but into a bigger space. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We're meeting our friend Cheryl there again. Cheryl came with us last time. She's driving up from Florida to be there, and we're taking a friend from here. Patricia's coming along, so we're going to have so much fun, the 4 of us sharing a room, and then we're going to just stitch for a couple of days there at Myrtle Beach.
I'm so excited.
It's going to be wonderful.
It was my first cross-stitch retreat experience, and I still think that every time I go to a stitching retreat, I always compare it back to that Barefoot one.
Absolutely.
Because it was so good.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. So we're really looking forward to going again. And then, like I said, my plans, we're going to stitch Christmas for the next couple of days on the 24th and 25th. We're going to do that every month this year. Just pick something. I stitched very few of my Christmas whips last year. Some of them were completely ignored. I did put a few stitches in some of them that I didn't bring you to show because goodness.
You didn't see enough?
Right.
You've been here for 2 hours.
I hope that was enough. And then patriotic. I'm going to be stitching on some small patriotic or some large patriotic pretty much every month this year. I've got that on my plan. And then I cannot wait to kick off my February 1st Milestone Manor round. Like, I'm counting down.
I love that you're so excited about that.
It's so fun.
I love that.
It's so fun. It's ridiculous how fun it is. Because ultimately, all I do is stitch. Like, it's not any change whatsoever. It's just the randomness of the amount of stitches I'm going to put in, how long I sit there, and then the whole idea of did I hit any milestones or not, and keeping score. Like, that is really fun for me.
That's so good.
I am now going to shout out about 1,000 floss tubes that I have watched in the last... because maybe some of these are ones you don't know. I doubt it. But
just in case.
Just in case. in the last 2 months. So there have been whip parades, there have been 2025 recaps, there have been so many good things. Jessie Marie Does Stuff is where you need to go to learn all about Milestone Manor and Whip Go. She's the creator of Whip Go, so all of that. I was literally just watching Jackie at Comfort Stitching last night, so she's fantastic. Karen Combs Studio, I love Karen. I've watched Karen for years because we've quilted as long as each other. Sarah's Stitchy Spot. There is nobody on this planet sweeter than Sarah. Like, definitely go watch Sarah. Two Tall Stitchers. I can't believe I didn't mention this. I don't know if I told you, but Carol took a fall. I think I did tell you.
You did tell me.
Because my mother's exactly the same age as Carol, and my mom took a fall.
Similar fall.
Recently.
To the face.
Yeah, but she was lucky because she face planted into grass.
Right.
So she scraped up her knees really bad, but her face was, so apparently Carol's face was not as well
Protected. In the fall.
Yeah, and so she's had some injury, but I did see on her Instagram that she's knitting. So that's, if she sees well enough to knit, then it's just a matter of time before she feels better. But Jen's most recent video by herself was really good. Jen, you are able to talk to a camera and not just to your mom. So see, that works out. Hollis Hand Create, I love Christine, and her videos are always so good. She did a better job than we have done at catching up a long period of time without talking forever. So feel free to go watch Hollis Hands Create. Nichol Spohr. She is the one this year that's got more people stitching Christmas than ever before.
Oh, really?
Because she set up a Christmas WhipGo board, and you can print it out, and that way when the WhipGo numbers get called, you've got 2 Christmas pieces a month to work on.
And there are things like if it has a snowman in it, or
It can be, but it could be, you know, like me, I probably have 25 Christmas whips. So I could literally put a Christmas project that I need to work on when
That's
that number
great,
is called.
Mrs. Jones.
Of course, Holly Jones at Mrs. Jones Stitches. She has a new Patreon. So, and it has a free level, which is what I did because I'm a cheapskate. But it's only $6 a month for her basic Patreon. And then you have behind the scenes access to all her stuff. I love a Patreon idea. Honestly, if I ever do get around to shooting and publishing any quilting videos, I would probably do it through Patreon because you control the community there better. I'm not a fan of giving meta access to my people.
I got that.
And
I get that.
conversations. So there you go. Tara Sullivan, obviously, is fantastic. Brenda and Laura had a new video after the first of the year. It was wonderful. Laura's birthday, of course, is the 1st, and Brenda's birthday is the 16th. So they went to the attic. I'm sure they'll be back soon because everybody was at the attic last weekend for Sampler Symposium.
Oh, fun.
So we'll get to start seeing all of those videos. Hobbies of Holly is why I started Peacorn. So Holly Neal is making progress on her Peacorn, but she's not like Kari, Tiger Lily, is far into hers. Like, I can't catch up. But Holly's at a place where I was like, you know what? If I work on my Peacorn, I could be stitching along with Holly. So
that's cool.
So I'm going to work on it. Plus, it's just so beautiful. Celeste Creates. Celeste is a homeschooler in Texas. So, and she's wonderful if you don't already watch her. Okay, now I'm going to tell probably more than y'all need to know about me. Nerissa's stitching lifestyle. So Nerissa lives in Christchurch, New Zealand. And she's got a fantastic accent. You know, so she's super fun to listen to. And I started her most recent video that came out yesterday or the day before as I was ready to go to sleep last night. So I fell asleep watching Nerissa. So then I started dreaming in what I'm going to say is probably some mangled Australian dialect. She's from New Zealand. It is not Australian. But my dream voice was this terrible, weird, mangled, you know, what was that movie? Quigley Down Under? Like, it was like that. It was bad, right?
I can hear it.
So then my headphones that I sleep with, when the video goes off and I wake up and I don't have a voice in my head, I can just push a button and it starts over again. So Narissa, I slept through your video 4 or 5 times last night. It sounds like you've done some beautiful work. No, seriously, she's had 17 projects that she's worked on in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
And she does beautiful, beautiful things. So follow Narissa. Chrissy, Crosshatch Quilts. Christy did this wonderful video recently. You know, she's besties with Lori Holt.
Oh, nice.
So that's, okay, you already win, right? Helen D. Helen, I love. Helen is where I get a lot of ideas for gifts for Mallory, because Helen stitches the kinds of things that I think Mallory will like. Helen stitches an eclectic set of things, and she's made a lot of progress on her Lord of the Rings stitch, which of course I bought but haven't started. But
oh, you showed it to me. I remember.
yes, it's fantastic, and I need to start that. Sarah at Penelope's Pocket. I love Sarah. Sarah's Alice in Wonderland bag is what inspired me to finally get a start on my Alice project. Okay, now of all the ones I've mentioned so far, Sheri at Colorado Cross Stitcher, her most recent video is the reason I felt free to start anything I wanted to start, because she has planned for 2026 18,000 different projects. It was unreal. She was like, and I kitted this, and I kitted this, and I kitted this, and I kitted this, and I want to start this, and I want to start this, and I want to start this, and I want to finish this, and I'm going to finish this. Even Sheri got overwhelmed. Like, after Sheri saw the number of things Sheri has kitted, Sheri was like, I think this is like when your eyes are too big for your stomach at a buffet. I think my eyes have been too big for my stitching fingers, and I'm going to have to rethink this. And it just cracked me up.
She's going to have to learn how to stitch completely ambidextrously and do a different project with her left hand than she is with her right hand. And
in her sleep. Like, that's the rest of it. Like, it was just so much. My friend Chris, the camping stitcher, has had so much positive feedback on her blessing sampler designs for this year. If you didn't pick a blessing sampler this year, Chris now has a collection of the past 3 years that you can buy as a bundle.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're beautiful sized little charts. Honestly, if you could shop today and finish it by the end of the month, if you've not done a blessing sampler, because they're so beautiful. Stitch Bead is Audrey. She's wonderful. She'll probably have a post sampler symposium video coming up soon. Our buddy Cam, the stitcher, did a whip parade that was fantastic. And I really enjoyed everything that she's got going in her whips.
Oh man, I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, you need to watch that. Stitch and Jim, she'll do a sampler symposium post thing. And then the infamous Periwinkle Stitcher, who is the only person in all of FlossTube who consistently has 2-hour videos that I watch 4 times at least. I spend at least 8 hours a month with Sean, the Periwinkle Stitcher, because she goes so fast. She has so much to cover, and her work is so magnificent. And again, beautiful accent that's delightful to listen to. So why not? You're going to be stitching, you might as well be listening to somebody speak in lovely British accent, right? That ought to keep you busy. Those are some people. If you've not watched these people before, you can't go wrong. Many of these, I've gone back to episode 1.
I just started at the beginning.
And watched them all. Now I've been watching them now for several years, but like Colorado Cross Stitcher, I go back to episode 1. I enjoy going through the years when Sheri did not own a cross stitch shop. She still just owned a yarn shop. And this was just her personal cross stitch. And then the transition from I've sold the yarn shop, I'm opening a cross stitch shop, and all of that. That's so fun to go back and see that season. And then samesies with all the rest of these. Brenda and Laura, I can watch videos from 2021 and they still make me buy stuff. So I'm just saying.
That's a superpower.
That
might be a super villain power.
It might be.
No, it's not. It's a superpower.
It's really great. And and then finally, because you might have noticed I did not show you my book of days this time. I opted this year to use my quilter's planner for both quilting and cross stitching, because a goal I have this year is to do more quilting, not less cross stitching, but more quilting.
Sure,
right?
Because you can just do that with time.
And so the quilter's planner I've bought now for 10 years. I have always had it, but I have a real problem that I get a good start that look like these kind of pages, right? And then by the 3rd or 4th week, it's already looking like these kind of pages. Now, to be fair, I mean, this is yesterday, so I haven't written down what I did yesterday, which was really take a rest day. I was still kind of recuperating from all my week, and so I kind of took a rest day yesterday. But, you know, I do enjoy, it has a full month, but I'm not treating this page like I did Book of Days. I could write on these little blocks what I'm stitching each day, but I don't feel like they're quite big enough. So instead I'm doing the weekly. And then what I love about it is it's got a project section at the back.
Ooh, that's nice.
And what I've done so far is write in my whips as they became whips in 2026.
Nice.
So even if I had started them in 2025, they joined my list because I worked on them after January 1st.
Nice.
So nothing else is a whip because it's not a work in progress if I started it in past years and have not yet worked on it this year. That's a different sort of whip definition than 99% of the stitchers in the world use. So...
But it's a good limitation for somebody like you who has so many things that you've touched and then decided it wasn't your favorite. And so it stayed in a bag or box or wherever.
Right.
And it's not something that you're interested in working on right now.
And I did do a 2025 whip analysis. I'm so old school. Everything's in pencil. You can't possibly read it. But I did work on 92 things in 2025. And I had about 24 finishes. Now, those finishes, some of them were very large. So I'm real content with that number. The previous year, I was about 50%. Like I had worked on 96 things and I had finished 45. But, you know, they were a lot of smalls. Sure. And this year, I've worked on some really big things. So we'll see how it goes in 2026.
I think we're off to a great start.
I do too. This was a lot.
I will definitely be probably stitching poinsettias as I edit this and get it ready, and I'll hopefully have my blessings sampler finished.
That's great. Yeah, I think I'm going to work a little bit on my Sweetheart's delivery and see if I can get it finished this week too. Yeah. So, whew, okay.
Next stop, baking a cake because it's still a birthday.
And after that, barefoot. And then we'll see you after our retreat in barefoot sometime in the middle of February, and hopefully the next couple of months, we won't have to go 2 full months before we film again.
Yeah, let's hope so.
That's right. Thanks, guys. If you've stuck with us this long, we are very close to 1,000 followers. So
please help us out if you want to shout us out on your socials so that we can get to that 1,000 mark. We would really enjoy being able to say that we had 1,000 subscribers.
Yes,
that'd be really cool.
It would help because every time we mention any video and how many times it's been viewed to our spouses, my spouse in particular likes to point out the people he follows that have 1 million views. So anyway.
He also thinks that we would be much more successful if we did like 20-second reels. So we don't always take his advice.
But
I hope you've enjoyed sitting and visiting with us as we caught you up on where we are. Hopefully you got a lot of stitches done, and we hope to see you next time. In the meantime, happy stitching, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Ugh.
Sorry about the more than 2 hours, because that does mean I can't stand up right now.
Yes, yeah, take your time. I'm sort of in the same place. 2 hours, 34 minutes.
Yeah, hopefully it will edit down slightly.
Here's another Yule Ball finish. Not Yule Ball. Wow. Harry Potter fans, you know what I'm talking about.
That's
but
right.
Jingle Ball.
I'm making sure I didn't skip any. I think Maria Wales Newson, 1838 is the last one. And she's still in my stand, and I'm not sure I can actually get my stand out without killing somebody. So give me a second here.
I'm like holding my mouth.
I know,
right
you're
for
helping.
you. Yes, I'm helping.
You're helping. That's great. But this piece was a his own design. You don't know where you put it?
I'm going to find it.
Okay. This piece was his own design. It's from a game that he loves called Balatro. I've asked now 7 times, I guess, and I can't keep that in my brain. I'm really kind of concerned about this falling on me at some point.
Yeah, if you died getting buried by an avalanche of cross-stitch stuff, like...
When we went on that Quilts of Compassion trip and Dennis coined the term quiltalanche, I don't know what you call it with cross-stitch material.
Stitchalanche.
Stitchalanche. That sounds good. Oh, I left the door open. How did I do that?
That's okay, I'll get it.
Okay.
Oh, we don't want any turtles to come in.
That's right.